2 Chuffy 1 2. 1 2 Chuffy Chuffy 1 2. 1 2 Chuffy Chuffy 1 2. 1 2 Chuffy Chuffy 1 2. So let's hope it all works anyway. 1 2 Chuffy Chuffy 1 2. So let's hope it all works anyway. My thank yous. So let's go onto the web browser. My thank yous this week. Buy me a coffee at ganjikidd.com. Specifically, if you do me a Twitch thank subby and things, it comes up on the thing. I'm wanting to make sure that the coffee donations are getting through, that they're being, because you see it on the screen when you do it, comes up on screen, but I think if you leave a little message, it's not coming on the screen. So I'm getting in and having a look every Sunday. As things get more, as we get more of them, we might find a way of getting it to come up on screen more, or maybe I have to pay coffee to do that, or I don't. Anyway, look, the point being, I'm saying it now on Sundays. If it happens more frequently that we get these tippies and have to keep checking back, we can check back. I can reload this page and check back anytime. Doing it now before the broadcast starts on Sunday. So this Sunday, we've got, from like 7 days ago, we've got Pazza, Snips, thank you. Snips with a message here, Mental Health Monday, quitting your job, my work is to work around your job. Terrible business plan that someone's like, yes, because if you do your job well enough, all the people are not poorly and then no one has to come and get used to the hospital. But don't worry, we can still keep finding ways to make them even more poorly. Thank you though. Twitch isn't working on your end. We'll catch the replay. That's a good fact of the replays and the thank you for the tippies. Thank you for your tippies. It's a good thing about the replays and the YouTube, which we'll show you in a minute. Hey, a little way into that. And Tree is a long time supporter friend from True Binaural days, and has said, email me the GD trade already before this guy retires. I thought, all right. So this is how good I am at business. I'm supposed to email her a copy of the trade. Okay, there's two problems with this. One, I'm not sure I've got the ability to email such a big file, but we'll try. I think I've got it on a YouTube channel somewhere, and I think I've got to dig out which YouTube channel it's on, and I'll try and look at it that way. It might not be viewable for all regions. I used to have a Vimeo, but Vimeo is every month you have to pay money, and I can't afford it, so I haven't got that anymore. My emails, I haven't looked at any emails for literally, what are we on now? Let me look at the date. December, since November. I haven't looked in any emails since November, so I'm terrible at that. So thanks for poking me. And thank you for the tippies. I really appreciate it. I really do. So if you want to tippy me, that's where this is coffee. You see at the bottom corner there. I get like 90% of the money from coffee. Twitch take 50% if you give it through Twitch. So this is a nice little system. And having said that, this is YouTube. We're on Twitch right now. I'll do the intro in just a second. This is YouTube, ganjikidd. This is our channel. It makes sense. Everything that I stream goes up on there. You can watch it as like a stream archive. You can still chippy me if you're listening to this on YouTube. It's still, you can still do that live while it's not live, if that makes sense. Coffee's always live. This is always available for you to use. So if you're watching this on YouTube, hello. All right, and down the bottom here we've got Ganji Cuts, ganjikidd Art Chat, Mental Health Monday, Ganji Clips, all different channels of media that we create. This week I haven't done the edit for Ganji Cuts, I haven't done the edit for the Art Chat, because everything's been out of sync in the edit and it's been breaking my brain. There you go, is what it is. This is what we're producing. This is our building of a library of media for you to enjoy at your leisure, edited into finer select chunks. And Mental Health Monday, of course, is its own clear. That's every Monday 8 p.m. GMT. That's a slightly different thing to just chuffing about. That's mental health support every Monday, so we do that. But predominantly we're a sort of cultural, gaming, art games, indie games, gaming sort of channel thing. We're going to add the podcast to our bow, more strings, as many strings as we can get on that chuffing bow until it snaps. We're going to add another string to the bow with the podcast coming in January, and I'm crossing my fingers because I keep saying it, but I'm just sort of thinking we'll get Christmas done and then we'll think about that. But I need to book guests, so I've done everything else apart from booking the guests. So that's coming in January. So now I've done the chuffing. We always do before we start streaming, before we get the thing on the go, before we get doing what we're doing. We always do 12 minutes. I've only done 4 minutes of chuffing, maybe 10 if you include that little it didn't work properly when I turned my face off bit. But I think we'll be good. I think we'll be good to go into the Switch now, the Super Nintendo Switch. Where's my whole face? Don't lean over, Scotty Hottie, otherwise your face just disappears into nothing. You've got to stay where the camera can see you. Oh, I see. It's a green screen deal, is it? Oh, okay. Profit deal, eh? Right, so 5 dates. We've gone on some dates. We played the game. We had some fun, and we successfully. To me, any outcome is a success. Me being honest with the people, them being honest with me, that's the biggest success. We don't have to end up married. Just wanted to see what it was like to hang out with you for a bit and, make some choices after that. So we've done it our way. We've been funneled down the little funnel, because you can't date everyone like forever. You're only allowed to choose. You've got to whittle it down, as it were, to the final date with one potential suitor. And at the end of that, our potential suitor was happy with us. So, hey, we managed it. We won. But now we're going to do the others, because there were some others that we were a bit like, oh, I don't know about them. And before I give this game a really terrible rating and say that it's just a horrendous patriarchal wingman simulator where you convince girls to, you find out the correct way of convincing someone to get off with you by sort of manipulating them, by telling them not the exact truth. If it's that, not good. But turn off the chat for a second. But if it's not, if it's like, it comes out different. We have had some interesting conversations with these people. They have raised some interesting points. Panic attack came up. I'm a little bit disappointed that there's less diversity insofar as there's not a boy or, we play as Vinny, a 27-year-old from London, and Vinny exclusively dates younger women, basically, between the ages of like 22 and 30, I think it is. Is it 22? Anyway, look, Vinny's got quite a narrow selection of people to talk to, and I think he could have a more diverse selection of people to talk to in terms of sexual orientation and that sort of thing. We're going to go through this process again. We're going to not bother with these other profile pictures because we did a bit on that. I've already done my comedy on that, so you can refer back to the funny video that we did before. Industry, yeah. Again, I'm not going to. I think you can game this because we're doing new people that I've not spoken to before. I don't know how to game them. So you see what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what I choose. I'm going to be honest again. I'm going to keep being honest through all of my playthroughs. And I'm not even going to do a playthrough where we try and manipulate. Oh, I know the correct answer for this one is to be more about finance. And I know that this girl likes it if I say I stay in a lot. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be honest still because it's all interests. It's all new to me still. So this is still unseen. Travel, spirituality. What did I say before? I like arts and culture, absolutely. Food and drink is big for everyone. And I think I said sports before, but I was thinking about it in the edit. Maybe music is more of an interest for me. I watch a lot of sports and I play some, but I also play a guitar and listen to a lot of music. It's very, very close, those two. And I think if I were doing a dating app, I think I'd be less inclined to choose sports because I think it would be expected of me that I'd have to be more maybe people who are more sporty would select that and then they'd be out running around in the park and I can't keep up with that. I like to play on the Xbox, mate. Sports is overselling my sporty side, although I've spent the day today watching the Grand Prix, so there is a bit of that. We'll do music this time anyway though, for a bit of it. Why not? It doesn't matter. It's only my chuffing personality. And star sign, again, we're going to be honest, but again, I think this is irrelevant. Thank you, Vinny. Your profile is complete. We'll present you with video date options presently. And we've done this before, Callum and Vinny. Is there any way to skip this?
I mean, listen.
Oh, look, here it is.
No.
Oh, look.
Wait.
My dog kicked in.
Hey, this is
Come here.
bro. Listen, I was.
There's nothing there, though. I'm just talking to people on the internet. It's all right. If I press these buttons, it skips it. So there we go. That was good. I managed to skip that. If you haven't seen that bit before, then you have to refer back to previous videos. Don't worry, it costs us nothing. This is not real premium. It costs us nothing. But we're limited, so we've got new matches. Last time we dated Saffron, Grace, and Maya. And, oh no, I can do the get because we get 3, so I can show you how to game Maya instead of just being completely honest. So we'll do Shania, Paige, because last time I said Paige looked very aggressive. There's this camera angle, the way she's looking down, the chiseled features and sharp makeup design made me feel a little bit intimidated. And I decided not to select her. Because you only get to choose 3. You can't choose 5. You've got to whittle it down from point 0. And Shania, as Capital K pointed out, I can't pronounce her name properly, but because he can't tell me how to actually pronounce it in the chat, because there's no way of typing sounds. Oh, is there? There's a phonetical alphabet. Oh, there is. But none of us understand it. Oh, I see. Okay. So it's useless then. If it's a language no one can understand, no one can understand it. It's useless. Okay, fine. Shayna. Is it Shayna? Sha. The last bit, Ina. Like, Ina. And the first bit, Sha. Shayna. Could be any of them. I'm going to call her Shania because, like, my brain wants to read it as Shania. So, since she's not a real person and it's not, like, derogatory to anyone, that don't impress me much. Do. Got the brain, but have you got your stuff? So I'm going to call her that, and I'm going to choose her first. She was the least likely to get a date last time because she's there with a newborn baby. And my reasoning, well, I'm not going to go over it all over and over and over again, but my reasoning was that it's just going to be a nightmare dating someone who's just had a newborn baby, isn't it? Like, they've got things to deal with, to concentrate on, priorities, and they're maybe not in the best place, like, to start a brand new relationship, romantic wise, maybe. So, I mean, I'll tell you what, I used to date someone as well who had a younger, not that young a baby, but, you know, a younger child, not the sort of child that was like, how would I explain it? No, not like between the ages of 8 onwards, where you can explain concepts to them and have conversations, but younger, where you're like teaching them to read and to, you know, do things. So I was quite happy with that situation. I was quite happy to sort of play that, and I wanted my own, and still do want to have my own children at some point. So, you know, I was in this eyes open, prepared to take it on, have a crack, you know, dating wise, being open-minded is the right way to say it. And it was a lot of fun in lots of ways, but then when it ended, it was like I also broke up with, like, because I'd made a relationship not just with a person, but with a young person as well. So when I broke up with her, like, it was like I broke up with a family. It was like a bit harsher of a breakup in a way. And also I said, let's not get into this for just like playing around. You know, don't break up with me in 2 months. If, you know, I'd rather break up now and let's not do this at all than go down 2 months, mess about a child's thinking and emotion. I'd rather not meet your child if we're not going to be serious. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather just not mess their life around by me being here 1 minute and gone the next because you've changed your mind. So make sure you're really sure about me before we go down this sort of step. So I don't blame anyone except her. I blame her for everything. But no, honestly, I think it was irresponsible for her to sort of, you know, bring me into their life in that way and then change her mind because just, you know, whatever. I don't even know, you know, people's reasonings. I don't even care to ask. But yeah, it's a shame. So I don't think that's a good place to go dating. In the future, after that experience, I'd rather just have my own children with someone and not have to, you know, if this is already a situation, I'm not going to say a good situation, a bad situation. I'm not, you know, grading your decisions to have a child, whatever, but it's a situation that you're in. I'm not going to then just start, you know, throwing my carrot in the soup. Hey, we've got, you know, another bit of a situation going on now. No thanks. I'd like a bit more of a talk about emotional baggage. Children are not baggage, are they? But, you know, talking about that sort of stuff, I'd rather just a bit more of a clean slate that we could start from together. And if, you know, you could be lovely, I'm not judging you on not being lovely, but for me, the whole extra dynamic of that child, it just doesn't. I've been open-minded. I've seen it not work out for me. So now I'm just going to, like, no thanks to people with children. So for the first playthrough, she was just a swipe. Which way do you swipe? I don't know because I don't use Tinder. I've got a Tinder, but I don't really use it. So I swipe whichever left. She was a slight swipe left. Left is sinister, isn't it? Bad. Swipe left, gone, bye. But without the baby in the picture, if she cropped it in a bit, out of all of these people, she'd have probably been higher up on the list than any of the others. She seems attractive. She seems nice. She's got a really nice smile. You know, she wasn't overloading her face with makeup and trying to look aggressive. She just seemed like fairly, you know, nice. So I'd have dated her. So anyway, look, we are dating her now. And we're also dating Paige, who I wouldn't have dated. And we're also going to date Maya, and I'm going to show you, because first time round with Maya, we chose honest choices, and it meant that me and Maya, we really weren't going to get on. But I will now show you how this game can be a complete, like a terrible learning tool, teaching tool for young men. And the learning point is that if you say the right things, you might get laid. I mean, that's something, I believe that concept used to exist as a sort of standard norm in society, that you could coerce a member of a person. I'm not going to say a member of the opposite sex, because, you know, even modern enough, you know, we're not patriarchal ourselves here, even though this game seems to be a lot like that. But the idea that you could charm someone into bed, that talk them into bed, that maybe coerce them, maybe you don't say exactly the truth, but at the end of it, you get the result of success date, like love match, into bed, bit of the old hot sauce, and then maybe, you know, you don't want to see them again, whatever, doesn't matter. But the achievement, you know, the Xbox gamer achievement is to win the date. So we're going to show you how I'm going to answer different questions than we did before with Maya, and, you know, see how that looks and feels. But I don't personally want to play the game like that. I just think it's a really, you know, bad egg teaching you how to be a. It's weird, isn't it? Because it's charming, isn't it? Hang on, where's my big face? We haven't got any music in the background. I haven't got any music in the background. We'll have some music in the background. We will, because it's nice, isn't it, to have a little bit of music in the background. But we're not going to have Pink Floyd, because that's copyright music. So we have to have game music. And we're using Skyrim at the moment. We're in that area. I don't want to use the same thing all the time, because it makes the episodes sound a bit strange. I don't know. Anyway, look, we're doing this. You can't stop it. It's happening. Skyrim. Music and ambience. Ambience. Can I hear that, Chuffer? Yeah, I can hear a bit of that, Chuffer. Okay. It just, you know, backs us a little bit. Backs us. Just gives us a little bit of a soft something behind. It's nice, isn't it? Just nice. Just nice to have a bit of that. And yeah. And I've forgotten what I was chuffing saying, so why have I gone big face? Oh no. No. He's forgotten what he's chuffing saying. Why is he going big face? And now he's chuffing light to my word. Alright, just 1 second. That didn't help either, did it? Physically going away from the computer didn't make me remember what it was I was going to say. I was going to say something about the... I was going to say something about the game anyway, wasn't I? So, let's go back to the Nintendo Switch and let's get it on. Dating Maya. Thank you for your selections. We will inform you of if the video dates have been accepted and scheduled. They have been accepted, of course. They've all accepted, yes, because that's the game, isn't it? Now we have another little conversation with Callum. I don't know if this is going to be different this time. Oh no, yeah, he says, should you do it in your bedroom? And you're like, no, I don't know. Oh, okay, so it's a question. Right, end of Skyrim. Wait. End of Skyrim. Let's have a little bit more of you and your audio input. He does ask us to go. I'm still being honest with some of the other dates, so I'm going to still be honest here with my wingman. But so I'm a no booze fellow.
I'm gonna go sober. I'm not gonna drink.
Brave man, brave man.
Thanks very much. But it will spoil our date with Maya, who wants us to have it. Okay, here we go. Shania. Maybe she could tell us how to pronounce her name, and that will help. Let's have a go. Let's have a little look. Let's hope she's in sync. Let's hope it's all working. You ready? You ready? 5, 3, 2, 1. Got chat. I've got Twitch. Got chat. I've got Twitch. Everything's working. Little Sunday session. Let's go. I'm going to check.
Oh.
You're right.
Hi there.
Go on, sorry, ladies first.
Hi, I'm Shayna.
Shayna, nice to meet
Shayna.
you. I mean, at least we're both a similar level of punctual.
Yeah, and I was worried I was going to be late. I hadn't really figured out how to use this dating app.
Join the club.
I had no idea she was going to have such a thick, like, northern Geordie. Is it Middlesbrough there? Is she as far as Middlesbrough? Geordie. She's not heavy Geordie, but she's like South Shields. Didn't know she was going to have such an accent. Don't know if that puts me off or I like it. I like an accent personally. I like any kind of accent, any distinctive accent. I'm surprised actually because the other girls didn't seem to have such a distinctive accent. Ladies. So I don't want to be patronising, but I didn't realise until I heard hers that it was something that I do actually probably find attractive just in general. You know, it doesn't matter which way your accent goes. If it's a bit of a distinctive character in it, I like that.
I just downloaded this thing this morning, so. I don't think it's wrong, but you're from up north, right?
Yeah, good spot. From Leeds.
Leeds. She's from Leeds. Is she really from Leeds, or is she acting like she's from Leeds? If she's an actress doing the accent, good on her. I don't know these days what the deal is, whether... What's happening? It's Sunday, so I'm going to chuff on for as long as I want to, whenever I want to, and that's just the deal. So, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're just going to shut up and listen. So, she's pretty. She is, isn't she? She's pretty. She's got very nice teeth. It's the teeth, isn't it? She's pretty. Bear in mind though, it's first time chat as well. Thank you, Neo. I'm good with names. Neo Yakivo, Neo Yakivio, Neo Okvio, Neo Kivo, Neo, thank you for your first time chat. And I also think, though, check this out, I think as a little thing, I think lots of people in lots of different ways have got things about them that are pretty, and that if you spend time with someone and they've got a good personality, then you start to see the things about them that are kind of pretty. I remember once I dated a lady who I didn't like. It sounds bad, but I mean, I knew she was attractive. I thought she was attractive when I first met her. She was smartly dressed. She's definitely smartly dressed. And I commented. I said, "Oh, I like the way you're smartly dressed. I like your shoes." And she said something. We were waiting in a queue for a shop. And she said something and I said some things. And then I said, "Oh, by the way, I've got my hairdressing shop around the corner." Because when I had my hairdressing shop in the town with my name above it, that was a bit easier for the old ladies to be impressed by, I suppose. So, you want to go and have a little look? I'll give you a little, have a little chat. So we had another reason to carry on chatting and looking and talking. And it went from there. But I remember, like, she was attractive. I said this on my other broadcast about, my principles of dating. I don't have a type. So she wasn't quite my type, maybe. I don't have a type. But she was attractive, but she wasn't like, I don't know how to explain it. She was attractive, but I guess she wasn't attractive in the ways that I'd normally been attracted to. I don't know what I was saying. Anyway, bottom line is, I thought, why not, she's like, I'm not going to grade people for like a 7, 10 or whatever, but she wasn't, in my mind, it wasn't like I just bumped into like, oh my God, this is the gift from the gods. This lady is everything I've ever wanted and more, and I have to have her. And like this, it just seemed nice, seemed pleasant, attractive, smartly dressed, box ticker, but not amazing, not like amazing, not amazing, but she was cool. So we went out on a few days. By the time I'd become ingratiated in her life, regular part of her company. By the time I'd, become like a boyfriend sort of thing, I saw things in her that I found more attractive as the days went by. Am I a sex god? You're allowed that. Not a sex god, but I've definitely been around the block in terms of been there, done that. had a bit of a few, one of the things I used to believe, and because I used to drink and I don't drink anymore, so I used to go out into town and have a few beers and talk to people and whatever. I used to think that it's not. So it is about confidence, and it's about this and it's about that. It's not about trying to cheat people into bed though and give them a clever line and coerce them and like anything like that. But, and this might sound bad, but it's a bit of a numbers game. If you like in that bar somewhere, like if you go in a bar, there's 200 people in that bar somewhere. There's probably an attractive, nice lady who is looking for somebody to have a bit of a dance and a snog with, maybe exchange numbers, maybe even a bit more. There's probably someone like that in that bar, a single up for it sort of lady. And if you you can't be like blatant about this. You can't just walk up to people and say, "Hi, my name's Scott. Are you this single attractive lady that's up for some fun? If so, maybe we should do some more talking." But it's basically like that, and you can't just do that to, like, if she says no and then you go to the next girl, "Hi, are you this single attractive?" You can say you just spoke to that girl. So you have to be a bit, you have to sort of play the game a little bit, see who's giving off the signals, who's, being a bit dancy, a bit flirty, who's making eye contact with you and giving you the smile, and, and you have to offer to buy a drink and be nice and this. But if you are in that game, if you're in that club, eventually you're going to meet the person, you're going to make the connection, and it's going to go well, because it's like a numbers game, isn't it? Like I said, there's somebody out there who is into that same, looking for that same thing. So if you just talk to enough people, you will eventually. So you can't be shy about talking to people. That's the main thing. You can't be in that club saying, "Okay, I'm going to build up all of my courage to go and talk to somebody. Oh, look, buy followers and viewers got blanked. Ha, ha, ha. No one's going to know where to buy the followers and viewers now. Ha, ha. Because it's a waste of money, isn't it, to buy followers and viewers?" Anyway, look, yeah, like in that environment, there's going to be that person. You're going to bump into them. If you talk to enough people in enough of a pleasant way, you're going to find. If you don't talk to anyone, it's not going to happen. The other people are out there talking to people as well. So you want to be in the mix, and just read the signals fairly. And also, don't be like, it's okay if someone says to you, "Oh, no thanks, mate." It used to pee me off when people were rude to me, because I'd be quite pleasant and polite. And I'd say, "Do you mind if I buy you a drink? Can I sit here?" And no, "Oh, chuff off you. You're just trying to get in someone's pants, aren't you? Chuff off you. Yeah, me and the girls. Speak to the hand." And I'd be like, "Well, you don't need to be like that, because I'm just trying to pleasantly be, forward and polite." So, but I think if you're forward and polite, and if you're not polite and you think the girl's like a bad boy and whatever, you end up with a girl that likes about. You have to be a bad boy. I don't want to be a part of that. So no thanks. It's nice if I'm myself, and I bump into people who like me for being me, and then they want to see more of me, so then that's fine. And in terms of actual, literally, copping off with people after dates, I've done a bit of that, yeah. I've copped off with people I didn't know that well, and I've copped off with people I've got to know quite well. And these days, I much prefer getting to know people and then, developing a proper relationship than just sort of, because I've copped off with people before. It's not like, infinitely doing it is infinitely fun. It kind of like the, I suppose it could get infinitely more fun if you had some sort of, like, if I was put into Hollywood and now I can cop off with the Hollywood people, or the, maybe that. But just like, the general population, just the general population, the normal people, I've had enough of them. But so I lived in my town. There's a theatre, and once I used to date an actress who was quite big in the theatre, and famous people. Yeah, I'm still open to. No, I'm joking. But now I just want a proper relationship, and that other aspect of it will come along with it. Am I capable at it? Yes. I'm not like some super. I think it's at different times, at different. Like anything in life, sometimes you might cook. You might want to spend a few hours cooking a really nice like 3-course dinner, all the trimmings, making sure the table's laid. Sometimes you might want to take some time over things, and other times, you need to just grab a hamburger You shouldn't never grab the hamburger, should you? You should never. That's disrespectful. Unless, the person you're with is just like, I can't be bothered. Can you not just have a sandwich? Unless it's, Enough with the food analogies. Let's get on with dating.
Okay, but your profile said that you live in London.
Yeah, no, I do. My parents moved down here a couple of years ago to be closer to their parents. So, yeah, but needless to say, the house was a bit of a downsize. 1 second. Sorry, 1 second.
No, it's all right. You go ahead.
See, now, that kid was saying mom, wasn't it? We've got to find out. We've got to ask directly. This is an honest date I'm having with this lady. We've got to ask directly. Can you tell me, what's going on? When she come back, that's what I'd say. I'd say, just, what's going on? Is that your child? Is that your child? I'll probably say it like that as well, with a sort of cross face. Is that your child? Like, giving her the idea that just put in the, that's how you do it. You secretly put your ideas across through where you behave. I don't mind kids. Wouldn't mind having a few myself. But at this stage, like I said, what are you doing on the dating app with how have you even got the time in between? I don't, because you've got to get up right now and leave. Imagine doing that. Imagine being on your date and you trying to. I used to date someone who had a young, and you literally have to share your time with, and you have to start putting the child's needs first, because the child's needs go first. No, you don't have to explain that to you, do I? The child's needs go first. So suddenly I'm putting, it's not my child, but suddenly I'm dating someone, and then any time the child's needs come up, I'm suddenly putting this child's needs first. Fine, but I'm supposed to be dating, so I didn't come into this starting to put a child's needs first. If I was going to be doing that, I could maybe just start working in childcare.
Angie?
Right.
Neji? Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
You didn't hear that, did you?
Literally not a word. What was it about me?
God, no, I don't tell my parents about guys that I'm talking to on dating apps.
Oh, wait, so you're living with your parents during lockdown? But you're a frontline nurse. How is that working?
It's not ideal, but I could have gone to a hotel, but I thought I needed to be closer to him to make sure that they were all right. Yeah. I kind of just self-isolate. I come in.
I forgot it was about lockdown as well. I did exactly that. We all live in this, me, my mum and my nan, but my nan's dead now because she caught COVID in hospital and died. But for a good year and a half, I had her here and I looked after her, nursed her hand and foot, and then she had a funny turn, had to go into the hospital, and that was sad. But it's about COVID, isn't it? I've been through the same thing. I don't know. I wouldn't choose to have dated during that time either. I wouldn't have brought anyone into the house because of Nan, and I had enough on my hands. So and maybe this isn't her baby. Maybe it's not your baby. Let's play Is It Your Baby with Shania.
Through the back and just come straight to my room.
Okay, so no contact whatsoever, basically.
Nope. Just that shouting that you heard.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, I get it, what she's saying. What I did is we self-isolated, we locked down. I didn't have any contact with the outside world to keep my nan safe, so I could be here and with her. We were like a little bubble. So I didn't see any of my friends or do any of my life. But she's saying she lives with her parents and she goes out and does the rest of the stuff in the society and then brings back the COVID to the house every day potentially without giving a shit. So that is a bit why move back in with your parents if you're not going to just do that seems a bit so I don't like her now as much because I think she's being a bit irresponsible. I know it might be difficult. Maybe she had to move back in with her parents. Maybe she's doing the best thing by not being directly in contact with her, just shouting at them. But it's a bit confusing. That is on me. It's a bit confusing.
Okay, so I have to say, Shayna, that I really, really admire what you and all frontline workers.
Sorry, she's a frontline worker. She's a nurse, isn't she? So I'm an idiot. Of course you need to keep going to work. It's admirable. And of course, living in your parents' house, you don't want to be bumping into them all the time. What an idiot I am. See how it's okay if I admit that I'm wrong sometimes. If I was on the date here and I've already said to her, "What are you doing? Risking your health of your family?" Oh, and I couldn't afford to live elsewhere. I'm a frontline worker and they don't pay us very well, and I've still got to do the job through the COVID, which is really harsh. Oh, I actually admire you. And I always say that on dates, there's something I always look for on a date. I think the most important thing on a date, I've said this before, I'll say it again, what the chuff, is you honestly are you, and you want them to honestly be them. You want to honestly feel, I'm personally, I like to feel I'm impressed by them. They're a good person. I value something in them. Let's see more of this. Let's do more of this. And from my end, I'm just going to be me, as like normal as possible, as normal, as big as you've seen me. I'm not normal, so but I'm going to be me, and you put up with it. And if you can put up with it throughout the entire day, and you like it even, then we've got a future. If you don't like it, don't bother, because I don't want you in 6 weeks' time to be like, oh, I like being with you, but can you just change this? And I'll be like, no, this is how I am. I don't want to just change any of it. So why didn't you? Well, you weren't like that on the first date. You didn't say that on the first date. You said something. Oh yeah, okay. No, it was my fault. No, none of that. I'm going to be honest. You're never going to have to be able to say, oh, I didn't see this coming, or I didn't know he was like that. You're always going to know what I'm like, because I'm never going to pretend I'm not. So either you like it or you don't, and that's the deal with the dating. And yet Shania is actually quite pleasant. She's done this impressive thing of being working as this frontline person during the pandemic, and keeping her family safe just by isolating herself is even more admirable now, not rather than a negative. The only negative here is that we talked about, is that her baby? Maybe it's not. Maybe that's a nurse baby that she's holding. A nurse baby. Like a nurse is not a baby that they... Like when the nurses are in the hospital and they have someone else's baby that they nurse. Like a borrowed baby, a lender baby. Maybe that was a rent. Anyway, look, so why would you put it in your profile picture, though? It seems a bit strange. And then the other thing is, it could be a nephew or a niece or a younger sibling, couldn't it? And the other thing is, God, don't let the dates go, do you? How am I ever going to see her? Because she's got this frontline nurse position, and we're in the pandemic, and there's absolutely no way that I should jeopardise like the National Health Service by accidentally giving a nurse COVID, and then like being like, hey, let's go out on a date, let's have a snog, I've accidentally given you COVID because I didn't know I had it, because about 40% of the people can carry it without knowing they've got it, and then you go into the hospital and you kill everyone. That's how my nan died. My nan went to the hospital with no COVID, and then in the hospital she caught the COVID off people who were spreading it around, because maybe they didn't know they had it. They certainly wouldn't have been spreading it around the hospital if they knew they had it, would they? So and that came from all the people out in society who kept it going. It's still going now. It's still killing someone else's nan. Let's not get me onto that.
Are doing at the moment, just risking your lives for others, and you guys are the heroes. Seriously.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Vinny. It means a lot for me to hear that, for me personally and for all of my colleagues. So thank you.
I get a bit of a cynic. I'm a bit of a curmudgeon cynic. I think this was written, it was written during the COVID. So they've written in a character that represents somebody who works at the NHS, so that we can say, oh, we think good you, thank you, you. I mean, we do think good you, thank you, you. But like, it's a bit of an easy, like, we're making a game during the pandemic. Let's have a character that represents these sort of, it's just like, it writes itself, doesn't it? It writes itself.
So this living at home situation, how long's that been going on for?
And of course, it nails this game, because I'm going to do my art review. This is a thumbs up for the game. The thumbs down so far are it's a wingman simulator, and it's teaching you cynically to say the right thing to the right person in order to get laid. Thumbs down. It's a thumbs down because we've only got girls of a similar age. We're not dating people of a more diverse nature in terms of, we've got different sort of cultures, we've got different ethnicities, but we don't have like a boy or, bi-curious or anything. And then thumbs up now. For some of the writing has been good. Some of the writing, the experience of what's it like to date a girl from this boy's perspective, fair enough. You don't have to be diverse. We could be telling a specific story, and we could be learning about today's dating, the landscape of dating in today, because it's different. Honestly, back when I was younger, and it's not that long ago, but back when I was younger, it was more acceptable to sort of coerce a girl into bed and then be like, way, you know, I successfully managed to get her to agree to sleep with me, and then like later on, you know, the lads are like, yeah, that's good, and then later on you don't really like her, so like you just don't, like, you're not who you said you were, so she doesn't like you either. That doesn't matter, right? But now it seems like, you know, the landscape might be different. We can talk about that through the context of this game. Thumbs up, good, but quite a narrow context. Young boy, London, heterosexual. Anyway, so this other thing, what I'm saying is thumb up for, and we're not doing like a stars review, we're doing an art review. So thumb up for actually giving the game identity, because okay, it's made in the COVID time, we're on lockdown, we're doing internet dating, it's speaking of a time. But thumbs up for actually introducing a character that represents some of the deeper themes that are running through society at the time. Are we going to question her about vaccines and opinions? Are we going to get some sort of contrast? Because people can have quite different opinions about things during the COVID. Is that going to be written into this? I don't know. Let's find out.
Forever.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I really get on with my family, and well, I'm actually just saving up for my own place, and well, like for in London and on a nurse's wage, that is just it's going to take me forever. So, yeah, so I'm living here for the foreseeable future.
There's a Streamlabs, a chat window capture is in the way of my. There we go. I'll just move that for you. Understanding your question. Now, do you know what? I totally understand this. I actually, just like I said earlier, have been and am in a similar situation. I did move out. I came back to the same town and a shared house situation, which turned into my, like, all the students moving out, my mom moving in, and then now this is like more like a mom's house. I'm understanding of that, absolutely. I don't have any questions other than, like, what other questions are there? It's really expensive in London. You work on a nurse's, and in the UK, a nurse's wage, surprisingly, even though they do really long hours and have to do a really hard job, and we absolutely value them, critically value them as integral parts of the chain that keep us all going throughout our entire lives, from cradle to grave, they are underpaid quite clearly and obviously, and while all the prices of everything go up, their wages don't go up in line with that. So it's even harder for them over the years. So I understand that completely. I don't know what the question is.
But listen, I just have to say amen to it, because, yeah, but how is the saving going?
Really, really, really well, really well. I might just be able to afford a cosy cupboard. But I'm actually quite good at saving. I just like the odd.
I'm going to pause this for a second. The only negative red flag that's waving in my head at this point is me personally. I don't know what he does, I don't know what Vinny does, but I don't earn a lot of money, right? And on my dating setup, I'm not looking for someone who's motivated by money. Fine, you know, I'm not looking for someone who rates or judges people based on money. Fine, but also it would be quite nice. The other girl in the other playthrough we did, Grace, she seemed quite well off. She was like a lawyer. Like, she seemed quite well off. So it would be quite nice if we didn't both have to sort of work our fingers to the bone to afford a really expensive house in London. Can we not do the nursing somewhere away from London where your money might go a bit further? And, you know, I'll contribute my bit, but it's going to be tough, isn't it? If we're together, me and Shayna, she's not going to like me never remembering her name properly. Me and Shayna are going to have tough times, but that's fine. You know, that's life. It's life. I just want us to both be aware, open eyes. I don't want her to think that I'm going to be some shining arm prince who's, like, you know, got thousands and thousands of monies in the bank that's going to, like, buy her a big house. And, like, if that's what she's looking for, that's not me. So, like, it ain't me, babe. But it could be if I won the lottery, or, you know, things really started to work out, because things have worked out well in my life in the past, and then they kind of shit up a bit as well, because, like, life's up and downs, isn't it? So, you know, at the moment we're on a bit of a. Well, the way I feel is that we're on a bit of an upward curve. I don't know how far the curve can run. I don't know how far it will go, but, you know, I'm pushing the things up the hill, aren't I? So I'm willing to give it a crack.
Like anyone else.
Oh, okay. Such as?
such as trainers. I'm always on my feet all day, so I like a comfy kick.
No, it makes sense. If you're walking around loads, and listen, I feel like you have to spend your money on something. You've got to enjoy it.
Oh my God, I forgot how dull Vinny is. I forgot what an idiot box he is. I mean, he's like deliberately written in. Like, she's like, I like nice trainers. And he repeats back to her, it's good to be empathetic and to understand what people are saying to you and to show them you understand by replying with their words back to them. So you show them, like, oh, so you're on your feet all day. Yeah, I get it. You know, it's good empathy. But also, like, you want to be interesting in conversation, you know. You want to take what someone says and I raise you with a, you know, something interesting, maybe a question. How many pairs of trainers do you have? Are you the sort of person that collects lots, or do you wear them, chuck them? You know, it's that sort of thing. What's your favourite kind of brand of, you know, we've got all these different questions about train. You could go anywhere with this. She's opened a little door for you. You know, she's talking about her personality. It shows something of her personality. And you're just like, yeah, like I can understand that what you said to me is that you're on your feet all day and you should spend your money on something. I mean, how vague can you be, Vinny? How vague can you be? You know, it's not like the spark of wit, is it? You've got to spend your money on something, so, you know, it's trainers or drugs, isn't it?
Somehow, especially you working probably incredibly hard, so.
I mean, I've got loads.
Yeah, you see, I could have.
You live on your own, right?
Yeah.
Are you renting or do you own it? Well, sorry, either way, it looks really nice.
I get a bit of a funny on about that already. Is she looking for, like, is this like a tick in a box that she needs a boyfriend with a house because she wants to move out? I suppose it's fair enough to ask about your living arrangements, but to directly ask the details of your ownership of your living arrangements, it feels like a personal. I know it's a date as well, isn't it? So it's a personal question, fine. But it's our first date, and it's a video date, so it's quite an in-depth personal question. And I don't know why. Maybe it's my English button-down kind of British sense of politeness, but asking anyone about their financial situation, their living situation, all rolled up in one question, feels a little bit forward to me.
From the bit I can see.
From the bit you can see, you like.
Yeah, the bit you've tidied up for this, it looks really good.
I'm supposed to answer the question. Oh, God. Right, now, you see, the correct answer, if you want to continue dating this girl, wingman support, is you just say you own it, don't you? And then later on, when it turns out you rent it and you don't own it, like, you hope that you're deep enough into the relationship that you've already got there. But no, I'm joking now. I'm joking, of course. The correct answer is your honest truth. But I don't have an honest truth because I'm not Vinny and I don't live in London. And my honest truth of the answers in my real life is still neither in both ways. I have to pay money towards, like, you know, things. And I don't, like, outright own this house myself, but I do have a sort of stake in it, and I don't really rent it, but I do have to pay money, and I do, like, you know, it's like and if I was him in London, yeah, if I was like young Limmy, I nearly said, we're trying to be like Limmy, Vinny and Limmy. If I was, I'm not trying to be, I'm me. It's just I'm a streamer, and I thought if we do this and Limmy did it, we'd get some of the curve. Anyway, look. The question's tough. If I was in London and I was him, I'm not owning my place, am I? Everything's stupidly expensive. I'm a renter, and in real life now, if you said to me, "Do you own a house?" I'd say no. No, I don't own a house. So, you know, I can't go into some sort of business bargaining chip and say, like, "Oh, I'll put my house on the thing," you know, raise some capital. Like, no, I don't own a house. But at the same time, like, thank God I won't get kicked out if I can't afford the rent this month. That makes sense, yeah? But I'm going to say rents.
This place is so extortionate, though. I mean, my landlord's eased up on the rent during lockdown, but it just eats into my bank account every month.
I don't know how you do it. Like, all my friends had the same issue at your age. Like, the struggle is real.
So this is good, interesting writing as well. They're talking about real life in the UK during lockdown. and it's not just, you know, before the lockdown, a lot of people have got this problem of home ownership being difficult, and it's kind of inbuilt into the system that you sort of grind away all your life so that you can own the home. And then the problem that we've got inbuilt into our system is that then when you die, if you're rich, you give it to your kids and they get like an extra bonus leg up to grind their own life to get more stuff. But if you're not very rich and you have to spend that money on your care or your hospital bills, then there's not much to give to your kids, and they're just grinding their own, you know, it's like a never-ending grind, and they end up giving it to the government for their care.
I won't be able to do it. Hats off to you.
Yeah,
That was pleasant, wasn't it?
again, some people don't have a roof over their head right now.
No.
And
True
so,
that.
I mean, I'm one of the lucky ones.
Absolutely.
So,
It's true.
you know.
So I just need to go in the other room and grab a refill. 1 second. Watch out, doggy legs. This will work. You're all right, little doggy. Daddy will put you on the camera one of these days when you go in that bed. What are we up to? Nearly 7 o'clock. We're rolling.
I figured I'd just address the elephant in the room.
There's an elephant.
There's an elephant. Is that your kid?
Well, hopefully I'm the only one that can see it. How do you feel about the cougar sitting opposite you, being 3 years your senior?
Oh, God.
Okay.
Okay, so this is weird again because now I'm playing Vinny because I'm not like I'm older than her in real life. And I've always thought as long as you're around about, you know, grown up and you behave like a grown up and like, you know, I just don't really, you know, no one said to me, oh, I'm too old for you. Or like now these days, as I get older, I start thinking people are too young for me. But like you're a couple of years older than me, like so what? Like just so what? Like do you like me? I like you. That's fine. If you don't. If you don't like me because I'm immature or whatever, because then okay, I can see that the age like filters into it. But you know what? In a few years' time, I'm not really going to be much more serious. I've decided what level of seriousness I want to apply to life, and I've decided, you know, I've spent some time wearing a nice shirt, being on my best behaviour all day because I'm working with the public and. Not always on my best behaviour, to be honest, but you know, being myself quite a lot more of the time because I have to be myself. And you know, how do I feel about you being older than me? I don't care two shits unless like it turns out you were lying and you're like, you know, 80, and then there's an issue because like, you know, there'd be an issue.
It genuinely makes no difference to me. What about you?
No, there's no problem on my end as long as you're mature. And you're not expecting a sugar mama.
Okay, no, that's reasonable. No.
Have you ever dated someone older? Or, like, what age range do you actually date, if there is one?
Do you know what's weird as well? Is that now that she said that, I do get this vibe off her that she's a little more kind of mature in her conversation. She's asked about, like, the realities of life, like your living arrangements, and we haven't got into views and opinions on things that might get difficult, but you know, she's asked about the realities of life and living arrangements, whereas like Saffron the hippie was interested in like your star sign and, you know, what shape your bogies are depends on what kind of future you're going to have. Maybe I don't know.
You're delving in here, aren't you?
What do I usually do is I
haven't really
date people around
I don't think
about
I've
my
considered
age.
it too much. I usually date girls around the same age as me.
And how do you find dating your peers?
Oh, well, I'm still on the app, aren't I? Like, I opened up my age parameter for a change and you look lovely.
I opened up my age parameter for a change. And what he's saying there is, like, you're like, you know, I couldn't find anyone good enough in my age range, so I had to widen the net. So now we're looking into the outliers. You managed to get on the list, but you know, I'm not really looking for someone your age. That's a terrible thing to say to somebody that you're on a date with. It doesn't matter if you're trying to win them into bed or not. It's just a bad. Don't say things that other people are going to feel bad about. There's a top tip, isn't it? So I wouldn't have said that even if it were true. But I generally, like I said, I generally don't tend to think much about like a couple of years being. I think they're making too much of the age gap there because it's not really much of an age
Thanks,
gap.
Vinny, but I'm not accepting it. I need a good night's sleep, man. Oh my God.
No, I refuse your refusal,
Stop,
and you
stop.
have to take it. You do look you're very pretty. You're very.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Sorry. 1 second, sorry.
It's all right. Go for it.
That's fine, Shayna. You know, you just chuff off from your date. No, it is acceptable now that we know what's going on.
खाना खाने के बाद किचन को साफ करो प्लीज.
Okay, bye.
This is important to tackle, actually. They're speaking a foreign language, so it's implied here, or maybe I'm reading this wrong, but it's sort of implied that potentially her parents are first generation immigrants. She's like a second generation of a non-English speaking family, at least, and that's kind of cool in my opinion. I've dated people from all over the world and with different backgrounds. I've met different people's parents who either like people who literally live in another country, so they don't speak any English because they didn't even, you know, they're not from England. But also I've dated people who are like second or first generation immigrants, and that's cool as well. So I would see that as a positive because I could learn a lot about a new culture. So if she said, oh, you know, my parents are from so and so place, wherever else that I'd not been or understood or knew about, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. Like, you know, what kind of cooking do you do? What kind of, you know, music do you like? And not her, she's not going to like different music because she's, you know, of a different ethnic background. That's not what I'm saying. But what I mean is, you know, is there some interesting culture that I can learn about? Like, that's a good thing. Like, so that's for me on the dating scale, that's a more interesting thing than somebody who has a more standard background that I understand more straightforwardly and easily because it's more normal to me. So that's what I'm saying. I actually like exploring and interesting and different.
That should put him off for a while. Right, where was he? Okay, sorry for the chat escalating so quickly.
No, my goodness, that's all right. Small talk is boring anyway.
I just think it's stuff that should be out in the open, you know, from the very...
Don't say, because you've just been small talk, don't say she's boring. Small talk's not boring, mate. Small talk's not boring. You're boring.
start for both of us. So now look, now you can interrogate me as you see fit.
Okay, all right, I won't do that.
So, right, my first question is, are you, like, oh, God. Like, my problems, my red flags as well. She's been very forthright. She's been very straightforward. And I kind of feel like after a couple of weeks of falling into a groove, she might start calling all the shots and telling me what to do all the time. And, like, you know, she might be used to a certain strict regime. And I might just have to start falling in like it's time to do this. And I'll be like, you know, the way I am, I might just start going, oh, all right, okay. I like a confrontational spark with a lady or a partner. I like a little bit of tug and push and pull and a little bit of a confrontational spark sometimes, a bit of a playful atmosphere. But if it's too brutal and like straightforward down the line, I might just tend to fall into, rather than arguing all the time, I might just tend to fall into line. So I don't necessarily like that. That's a bit of a red flag. And then the other thing is this northern thing. Like, isn't it a bit weird that she's in London? Her parents are not where are her parents from and how she got northern. Like, I want to know a bit about this, like where she grew up and like where she's journeyed through in the world to collect these northern accent. She speaks another language, and English is clearly her first language. Is it? Like, I'd like to know a bit about that. And my worries about dating a northerner. I haven't got any worries about dating anyone, but the northern people. I'm in the Midlands. I live in the Midlands, so that means that I theoretically have the best of everything. I'm the nice bits of all the northern people and the nice bits of all the southern people. I'm in the Midlands. I'm in the middle. If you don't like something about either of those groups of people, then it's not me. I'm in the Midlands. I'm in the middle. And we couldn't label people with any sort of specific qualities from being a part of the world. Well, actually, there are differences in the north and south of the country, aren't there? In terms of sort of government investment, so grassroots poverty. There are some differences.
I'm not going to grill you, but there are a couple of things that I was wondering. One thing in particular.
Oh, who's the baby
go
in your
for it.
profile picture? Right, go.
Something about your profile. I noticed there was a baby in your profile picture, and I don't think you delivered it. And I was wondering, do you have a baby?
Okay, every guy on dating apps like mentions that. I actually should take it down. But I just love it so much. So obviously he's not mine.
Okay.
It's
right,
my baby
okay.
nephew Ashish, and I just love him so much.
Bless. And so you've got siblings?
I've got one younger sister.
One.
So what's really annoying to me now is don't judge a book by its cover. Oh, isn't it? Like, I didn't date Shania. I didn't date her because I thought, that's a baby in your picture. You've just had a baby. I put 2 and 2 together and made 5. Oh no, it's on me. Oh, I'm stupid. I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. You're trying to represent yourself on a dating app. You're trying to give out information that a potential suitor might take and read, visual information and read and understand things about you. So if you hold a newborn baby in your chuffing arms, it's going to look like you've just had a chuffing baby. And now I've written you off. We didn't have I can only choose 3 out of 5. I can only choose 3. 3 out of 5, right? I can only choose 3 out of 5. So I've chosen 3 that I thought I'd be most compatible with. Now, she got written off. I'm having a nice date with her. She'd have been much better than that chuffing, drinking mess of a... She'd have been much better than one of the others, and I would have had I might have ended up dating... Oh, why did you chuff... It's your own fault you don't get the dates, because you put a terrible picture. You just crop it in. Past
Got
the
married
baby.
quite young, actually. I'd say 21, I think.
I mean, that is quite young by today's standards.
It's always her prerogative to get married, whereas mine, less so.
Less so. I mean, was that a problem for your family?
Not a big one, but as the older sister, all the extended family now see me as the spinster.
Sure.
So the pressure is still there, but it's just background noise.
Yeah.
And, you know, having said that, my biological clock is ticking. So this conversation is not getting
No,
sense.
you can't dig
Apologies.
into me about this stuff and not... You've got to say some stuff too. Fine.
No, it's too
There is a little bit of I don't like there's 2 ideas there that I don't like. One is that she's prepared to just like close down. Like she just closed that. She was flowing and she closed it down. No, so I prefer you flowing. There's never a need to, we're playing some sort of mind, like something in your mind has said, don't say this to, maybe she's trying to not put me off by saying that she wants a baby, or, now we're getting into this like extra layer of mind games that I can't follow. That's about as far as I can follow. Gets any farther than that, it starts losing me. Let's just watch the Grand Prix instead. So I don't like that that's a signal. And what was the other red flag? What was the other? No, we're not talking about this. The other red flag was that we had said, like, it was kind of like a deal, wasn't it? I'll say some stuff about me, you say some stuff about you. And now she's on her end of the deal. She's not doing what she's... that's a bit of a red flag as well, isn't it? You can't go back on the things you said. If you said you were going to do something, you can't just start saying it and then, oh, no, I changed my mind. I'm not going to do that.
serious.
Okay, cool. All right.
But I wouldn't say that on a date. Of course, on a date, I'd just be like, oh, no, don't by all means, in your own time.
That is so rude. I'm so sorry.
Listen, you have a free pass to be tired, all things considered.
And that's going to be a nightmare in a relationship because, like, it might not be my fault all the time, but if you're tired, you're going to be cross sometimes. And I'm either going to have to be really good at reading that and helping you into a happier mood, or there's going to be times where I'm getting in trouble.
Oof. You know what's been keeping me sane throughout the whole of this? I've been making myself a cocktail every night. So I basically come back from work, sneak into the kitchen, make myself a really good cocktail, sanitize everything, drink it, and then it just knocks me out.
You listen, you got
So is she saying? Does she mean alcohol? Because if what she's saying is the thing that's kept me going through this pandemic and all this working hard that I'm doing is that every night I drink myself to sleep, then that's a problem. That needs addressing. That can't be the thing that's keeping you going. That'll tear you apart eventually. That'll get worse. You'll need to drink 2, 3. You'll have 5 cocktails, and then before you know it, you won't be as on form at work because you'll be hungover all the time, and then, you know, take it from someone who's been there. If alcohol becomes a part of your life that you depend on, then that's the time to sort of say, maybe I'm just going to not drink any more of it ever again.
Have a little ritual, right?
I've actually become quite the mixologist now.
Have you?
Better with vodka, whiskey, and gin.
Nice.
So, what's your favourite out of those?
None. I'm teetotal. Do you remember at the start we selected sober? I'm going into the sober. Do you remember at the start we selected that? None.
What actually would I make it?
I drink cocktails. I drink
what would you
non-alcoholic
make for me? Which one would I
cocktails.
choose? So I don't drink cocktails. At all.
That's fine. It's fine as I actually got you back because I make a really, really good virgin passion fruit daiquiri.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you think I'd enjoy that? Is it nice?
It's really good. Do you like passion fruit?
I love passion fruit.
There you go. That's all you need to know.
Well, trust me, that would be very gratefully received these days.
Sorry.
Is it a bit loud? Is their date a bit loud? I was messing with the volume now. I shouldn't mess with the
Sorry,
volume.
it's nearly 8 p.m. I'm going to have to go outside and do the clap for the NHS.
Okay.
Oh,
likewise.
see, they wrote that in.
I hope you had a good time tonight.
Yeah, I did. Thanks. And you too.
Oh. Bye.
Okay, cool.
Okay, bye. What I wanted to say about the clap for the NHS. Right, this is going to get the big face treatment. The clap for the NHS. What happened was during the COVID. If you're not from the UK, you might not know this, but during the COVID, at some point during the COVID, on a Thursday at 8 o'clock, you go outside and everyone clap, and it's like a viral thing that everyone's outside on their doors clapping, and we're clapping for the NHS, and they do a little moment on the telly, like. And you have a little watch of it and a little tear comes to your eye because we're all going through this pandemic together. So we're clapping for the NHS. What that is, right, that actually started in Italy. It started in Italy. They had the COVID really bad in Italy first. And in one little town, someone started doing it for their own little community. They wanted to show their own little... So they did it in Italy. They all banged their pots and pans. It spread throughout Italy like viral. Like no one said, we're going to do it on Thursday. Like it spread viral. It wasn't like the government saying, let's do this. It spread viral. Then, when it was viral and happening across Italy and now maybe in other parts of Europe, someone in the UK said, let's do it. And it came a bit more top down. We're going to do it on this day. Clap for Carers is going to be on. And we're all going to go outside. A bit more top down. The idea. And then it got on the news that someone... And I couldn't understand this because, the news was already out. We're going to be doing it on this day, Thursday, 8 o'clock. It had been, reported in different news media, on the social media, whatever. The idea had come top down. But they reported on the news, here's the lady who had the idea. And she came on the news and she said, yeah, I just thought, everyone's working so hard, we should show our support. And so I thought we should come out and clap. And I'd started this campaign. And I thought, no, you fucking didn't. I'll swear for this one. I'll swear for this one. I usually say chuffing, but I'll swear for this one. No, you fucking didn't. You stole the idea from Italy because it had been on the news. You didn't come up with the idea. You stole it. Clap for Carers. You stole it. And then this woman who claimed to have started it, she was talking on the news. And she was on again weeks later when we kept doing it every week. And then it petered out. And I'll tell you something about it. I will clap for the carers. I'll clap for the carers, but I won't go and stand on my doorstep on Thursday at 8 o'clock and do it. I'll do it I've been doing it for years. I've been thanking people directly. I've been paying into charities. I've been, doing things to help them, to make sure that, campaigning for better workers' rights and wages. I'll clap for the carers. A lot of those people who clap for the carers voted for the Tories, who cut all their wages. A lot of people that clap for the carers voted for the people that ruin the lives of the carers. So you can't clap for them. If you voted Tory over the last 10 years, you can't go out and clap for carers because you're responsible for their working conditions being worse. So you can't then go out and go, oh, good job though, good job. I'm showing my support. You're the reason their lives are worse. So you can't go out and show solidarity. And if you want to show solidarity, there are things you can do. You can go to the charities that support these people. You can be part of the, because there's so little funding in the NHS, in the social care system, people have to start up charitable organisations to support them in our country, not just to support the doctors and nurses, but to pick up all the slack. So you can maybe do a bit of that. Like, clap for carers is an open, empty, it's nothing. It's nothing, is it? Oh, it shows you solid. It shows we're all in this together. Oh, it shows you. It's like wearing your little badge. It's nothing. You have to at least pay for the badge. At least the money goes to the charity. Clap for carers is do nothing. Give them nothing. Do their wages go up? No. Do their working hours come down? No. Are you still out there spreading the COVID around without your mask on? Potentially, if you want to, it's up to you. Can you still clap? Yeah. Should you? No, because you're the reason that their lives have been hard if you've been spreading that COVID around. Did you get your double vaccinations? Are you all boosted? No. Well, then don't fucking go out and clap for the... I'm not going to go through all the checks and balances, the things, the F-ups that have caused people to die during this COVID. But, a lot of people said, oh, well, I don't understand the rules, or it's one rule for this, and I don't understand. No, it was pretty straightforward. If you're worried, stay home. Do you know what I mean? If you're worried, get a good mask on. If you care, wash your hands. Stay apart. You don't have to have the government telling you today you're allowed to, tomorrow you're not. If you go to the pub and you're allowed to, and you think the pub's more valuable than my nan's life, you're in the pub. You've been in the pub for the last 6 months. My nan's dead. They're the trade-offs. So you can't go out and clap because the NHS had to look after my nan. You killed her. You were at the pub. So, there's these checks and balances. So the clap for carers is a way the government who are not going to give money to the carers, who are not going to make their working hours easier, who are going to be responsible for more people coming into the hospitals because they're not going to do the measures, so the people are not going to do the government who are actually responsible for making their lives worse are out on the news. Boris Johnson's on the news clapping outside number 10 Downing Street. We're all in this together. It's propaganda. It's just bullshit, empty propaganda. It's a hollow promise. In America, you've got, because it might be different in America, here's something you'll recognise: support the troops. Who doesn't support the troops, for Christ's sake? Support the troops. Well, some people don't like the war and they want peace and the killing, putting the money into the guns, putting the money into the bombs. Some people, there's politics involved, but in general, support the troops, yeah. So, we can all say that, can't we? But do they actually do anything to help the people with PTSD? Do they actually support the troops, physically when they come back? You might get a free meal at a fast food restaurant. Support the troops. You can say empty things. They cost nothing. To actually do something, to actually make someone's life better, costs your time, your interest, sometimes money. And also, we need to vote out these chuffers who are ripping everyone off. So support, clap for carers. Half the people down the street didn't deserve to clap. They didn't have they disrespected the carers through their actions and then had the nerve to clap. We're not all in this together. Clap for carers. Half the people on the street did something, maybe less than half did something special for the carers. Now we're out on the street clapping. You don't need to do that. I don't have, you don't have to prove anything to me. I know what you do. I see you've got a good heart. You've been helping. You've been one of the good people. You don't need to be out on the street clapping, potentially catching the chuffing virus. Get back in. Somebody's going to bring you some supplies. Get back in. Stay warm. Clap for carers. I thought that was a load of meaningless nonsense. It was good in Italy. In Italy, it was really good when the community wanted to show their support and respect and just spontaneously, almost spontaneously, started a visual display of their love. And it caught on and it spread. And they were in it together. It caught on, it spread like the virus. It went viral. That was good. to then see it on the news and say, oh, I could use that for my own political gain. Let's get a posh lady to say she's starting a campaign, and Top Down will tell them on the news through all the different media this week they're going to be doing it at this certain time. It's no surprise that Boris was out with the news cameras. You know, he didn't hear about it last minute. He arranged it, and then he used it for his own political gain. And he didn't pay the fucking carers any money. If everyone that had gone out and clapped had given us 50p, and we'd given that to the carers, you know, we could have changed somebody's life. Anyhow, we're playing 5 Dates on the Nintendo Switch. We're ready to see this lady who I thought was going to be aggressive. Now, I'm being aggressive. We thought that this lady looked a bit aggressive to me, but we're going to find out. Let's see.
Oh, hi, Paige. Hey, I'm Vinny. Sorry, you weren't waiting long, were you?
A little bit, but it wasn't your fault. I was actually just on here, like, filming a live vlog, so I just hopped on when I finished.
Oh, what, like,
I know it's exposition. You know, I know that it's exposition. We need to know about her. But I didn't ask about your live vlog. So you don't have to I'm in a sweary mood now. You don't have to chuffing well sell your Instagram to me. We're supposed to be on a date. I want to know about the real you. If I know part of the real you is to do this Instagram thing, but really, you know, I don't want to know that side, like the polished, presented, created side. And I want to know what you're really like when, you know, you're not having to hold up the mask. So already trying to sell me, oh, you know, I only did 1,000. I don't know if you heard me doing press-ups. I was only doing 1,000. That's as bad as Ron Burgundy, Anchorman, isn't it? Oh, you know, I was here just filming a live vlog for my followers. So ask me about it. Go on, ask me about it. In that situation, in reality, I would try my hardest not to mention or talk about the things she was trying to push me. So if she's saying, "Oh, my live vlog," you know, I don't know, I'd say, "Oh yeah, so you into sports?" You know, or, you know, just something different. Or if she's going on about the vlog, I'd say, "Oh, so what kind of camera do you use?" "Oh, cameras." You know, like, but she's trying to tell me, you know, wants to, like, and I deliberately sort of play this silly game of like talking around it because I know that she wants me to talk about it. So now I'm just like teasing her because I just don't like it.
Like a lockdown vlog?
Yeah.
You know, I've seen so many people doing that on social media.
That's another way about it. That's another way of doing it. Put her down by belittling the thing she's doing. Oh, you're doing like, oh, I've seen so many people doing that. Everyone's doing that. You're just like everyone else, you. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't do that to her. I think that's mean.
Are you okay? Sorry, I didn't say anything, did I?
Yeah, I'm fine. I was just noticing how you actually do look exactly like your profile pic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's quite rare these days.
And there's a good point. She doesn't look as much like a profile pic. Now she's smiling. She looks a lot more appealing.
I don't know. I figured a solo picture would work well if I could only pick one. So that's the one I went with.
Well, it was a really good choice. Good lighting.
Can't really take credit for that one.
Again, good lighting. Is she now trying to, you know, let's start talking about film production again. Oh, by the way, I produce vlogs.
So,
when I was a hairdresser, I was able to do that so easily though. That was so easy. If I ever wanted to, like, there's the twofold to this. I would be giving out my cards sometimes. You know, in bars, you're talking to people. You don't have to be trying to shag everyone. You might just be talking to people, and you say like, "Oh, I like your hair. That's nice." You always say nice things. You never say your hairdresser's shit. What are they doing with your hair? It's rubbish. I could do it better. You say, "I like your hair. That's nice." Yeah, and then if like 50% of 80% of the people like have an opinion on their own hair. Especially if they're ladies. So, you know, and being educated on it, I could say it's not, I don't have to just say it's nice. I could say, what a well-cut bob, or I like the ash tones, the way they cut through. Are they foils? And, you know, then they'd tell me about their hair. And then, oh, by the way, I'm a hairdresser. Of course. How did we get onto this? Because I just chuffing made you talk about it. But, you know, that was easy as a hairdresser. And they wouldn't even mind. You know, people don't mind. But then I'd give them a card, wouldn't I? And I'd be like, would you want to come to my hairdressing salon and be a client? If it was just like, if I was on a date and I was doing that sort of networking. I used to hate networking. I hated it. Hate networking. But that sort of networking, you know, oh, by the way, do you want to see my recording setup? Oh, by the way. No, that's not for me. I'm not a network debt worker. A date networker.
I know that guys also lie about their height on these apps.
What? Now we're being accused of lying.
Okay, don't worry. I am actually 5'9".
Stand up.
Okay, the 5'8" side of 5'9" or the 5'10" side?
I'm stood up. That would make me cross. I don't measure myself regularly, but I know I'm the one underneath 6 foot. I'm not 6 foot. I'm the one down from that. 5'11" it is in, because we have centimeters and we have things, and I don't regularly check, but I know I'm that. Let's say I'm that. Yeah, I'm not lying. I'm not trying to squeeze an inch on you. I don't care. It's how tall it's like it's like saying how many eyes do you have. Like, you're going to be able to spot it when we get face to face up close. You're going to know. I can't lie about it. It's the truth. So I just tell them the truth. And for her to accuse me of lying, like I say, I just stood up. I just be like, right, now I'm standing up. Now what? Now what are you going to do? I've proved it. Let's move on.
I think I'd say I'm a solid 5'9".
Right, now you're admitting. Wait. Now you've gone from I was telling you the truth to I'm probably something slightly different from what I said I was. No, that's a bad look as well. Why do all my lighters broken? It's not fair. I'm going to get the gas. I'm going to burn us all down. It's like a don't worry, I'm not going to set fire to anything. It's like a it's like a curse. Like all my lighters go at the same time. So we're now being accused of lying. That's what's happening. I might accuse her. Maybe I should accuse her of something. If that's the way this is
And
going.
that's how tall you are as well, aren't you?
Yeah. I was just double checking.
He did. And that's how tall you are as well then. So if you think I'm lying, or maybe you're lying, spy versus spy, mate.
Okay, cool, yeah. So, your outfit's really cool. Have you just done like a workout or something?
Shut up. What's wrong with him? This is weak. This is weak. Ask questions. Compliment by all means, but you can only see a small cut off part of it. If it was me he was talking to, he's got a reason. You're out, yeah, it's NASA, isn't it? Look, Apollo. I've been to the moon, essentially. Interesting choice. Looks a bit like an astronaut. She's just wearing a tank top. Can't even see it. Can't compliment her on that. It sounds stupid because you can't see it. You can compliment her on something that you really can't see. A smile. Got a really beautiful smile. It's really like, I like that. Or like her hair, you can see that. You can't compliment her on things you can't see because it's obviously fake, isn't it? It's obviously just BS.
Oh, no. This is gym/loungewear.
Oh my God. Maybe London people who are hip, maybe hipsters in London. How can this not work? I've just filled the chopper up. Maybe hipsters in London have like gym/loungewear. And he knows you've not just been to the gym, because if you were listening, you've just been recording a vlog. So for me to be rude like that and to say I've basically not been listening to you, I don't retain the information you
Literally haven't been wearing anything else in the whole of lockdown. And I've got loads of it because I'm an ambassador of the brand.
Oh, here we go. I didn't ask you if you were a chuffing influencer. I asked you what sort of clothes you like to wear.
Oh, so you're like a personal trainer.
Good one. Well done, Vinny. Well done, Vinny. He's moved it. So he hasn't taken the bait there. So you're an influencer. So you're on how many followers do you have? That's the question she wants you to ask. How many followers do you have? Because that's the thing that she's grading her ego with. That's the thing that's keeping her afloat. So she wants to put that out there, but she wants you to ask. So Vinny's done a good one there. I like that, Vinny. But he's done it because he's a dunderhead, not because he's deliberately playing the game. But so you're a personal trainer
cool.
then.
Oh, no.
No.
I'm an influencer.
You idiot. I'm an influencer, Vinny. You idiot. But what's good for her is that she's now like she kind of likes him because he's not that smart. He's not a threat. He's not smart, is he? Like, you can run rings around Vinny, so have him as a boyfriend, and he'll also, you can confuse him as well into doing things that you want the way you want them.
Okay, influencer. Wow. Like on social media.
Yeah, I started off as a model and then naturally just became an influencer, I guess.
She's very proud of that. So I'm not completely slanting. I'm not completely writing it off. There are positives to it. Yeah, but I need to know, because I've got ethics. I've got like this strict code. It's not written on any blackboard over there, which I'm waving my hand at, which you can't see because we're on a green screen today. But I've got a code of ethics. I've got veganism is quite high up there on that. Got veganism. I've got a general sort of honour code, a sort of drilled into me throughout childhood what it takes to be a respectful, honourable. Like if you can do these things and make sure that you're a good egg, an honour code. So I've got these things, and I can't. For example, if I was an influencer and I had lots of viewers, and someone came to me and said, "Oh, would you like to promote this makeup?" Be like, "Yeah." So tell me about the makeup, and tell me about why the makeup's so good, and all that. And I'd say, "So tell me about the carbon footprint of the makeup. Tell me about whether the makeup was tested on animals. Tell me about the history of the company that sells the makeup and the directors of such company, and whether they go hunting animals themselves for trophies. Tell me about these things, and then we'll talk about your makeup. We're not going to do your makeup, mate. Take your makeup and stick it up your arse." And that's what I'd say. And then, we'd find eventually, because we're going to look for a sponsor for our stream. In reality, I'm like an influencer, aren't I? Like one. I'm not an influencer. Influencer is a terrible word. I'm not going to say it isn't a job. I understand it's a word that's been used in marketing. It's a marketing word. It's for marketing companies. Marketing companies use people to sell things, and they use them for cynical reasons. It's a bad thing. It is a bad thing. So, people, it's not a bad thing. Why is it a bad thing? Well, because they use these people, because these people get into your head better than they can. That you trust these people. You build up a connection with them, like you do with me, and then you trust the people, and then the people tell you things, and you trust them, so they're betraying your trust when they use that bond. That they might have put themselves in a position of authority in terms of knowledge, tutorials, whatever. So you trust their recommendations. They might have put themselves in a position of I don't want to lean too heavily on saying they're deliberately trying to psychologically manipulate you so you think they're your friend and you trust them. But, they've got themselves in this position, they've got the eyes on them, and their choice is to use those dynamics to say, what is it you're trying to sell? Give it me. Right. You buy this. This is great. This. Oh, I chuffing love this. Oh, this is so great. This. Give me the money. Where's the money? Give me the money. I'll have the money. And you at your end, do you want this? Well, this is soy milk. It's Alpro. It's, other brands are available. It's chocolate soy milk. You do want it. But, you might not want this. It might just be chuffing rubbish. Doesn't matter. They don't care about you and what's going on at your end. They'll take your money. So they'll encourage you to give your money wherever. Chuff your money up the wall, you divhead. Chuff it up the wall. You spuff your money up the wall, right? You make your lives worse. I'll have the money. I'll have the money from these people. I'll have the money. I'll have the money. So that is evil. Because they've taken trust and turned it into, they've betrayed it. They've betrayed the trust. And they can say, oh, well, people make their own decisions. I'm just a, makeup consultant or whatever. I'm just using makeup as an example because it's a big industry on this whole thing, isn't it? But really, like I said, they put themselves in a position of authority, or they built up an audience of people who value their content, and they've taken those dynamics and they've betrayed them. So unless what if they really believe in the products? What if they really believe in the products? Well, then we've got to go into that ethical thing, haven't we? We've got to go into that ethical bar and grade the things, and we've got to have a good set of ethics to be able to grade the products to say we believe in them, because you can be a right chuffer and you can believe in like whatever you like. So what, you believe in it? Are you a good person? Do you have good beliefs? Shouldn't we talk about that? Well, no, we're just going to talk about makeup. Well, then how do I even trust your judgment, what you believe? You know, it might be a bad choice. It might be a bad choice. It might be that these people are responsible for bad things. So you have to have a good, you know, head on your shoulders to make, to influence people, to deliberately influence. It's one thing to be put up there by the rest of them. I like your racing driving. I like the way you drive that car. I'm going to buy your shoes. You know, that's one thing. Because you didn't try and sell them the shoes. You just drove the racing car. They just put you up on the pedestal because you're good or whatever. You know, you're an influencer now. Whatever. It's a different thing to like work at being an influencer, to work at it on social media, to work at developing the audience, to put your energy into creating yourself as an influencer and developing the audience, and then using that like to shoehorn this that's a different thing. So I'm not going to compliment them for initially, because I find it despicable. I find it a marketing creation. I think some people have even got so into it they don't realise they've been hijacked by marketing, that their lives are now marketing. And maybe they do understand it and they're really into marketing. But marketing, you know, convincing people to buy things that they don't really necessarily want or need, it's a bad thing in the world. It's a bad thing. He says on Twitch, advertising present on my stream, advertising on all my videos that YouTube put there without my consent. Tip me at coffee.com ganji, because I'll shill for myself, you know. We're going to try and build a media product that's worthy of sponsorship, and I'm going to try and select a company. Like, I'm going to go, I think I have to go after a sponsor rather than coming after me, maybe. But you know what I'm saying, if a company sponsored us, they know they're going to get serious not what we're doing right now on Chuffy Stream. It's not always serious, but they know that they're going to get ethical content that won't accidentally cross this line or do that. You know, I'm not going to suddenly accidentally turn out to be a racist or anything like that. You know, I'm safe in certain ways because I've got such strong ethics, but in other ways, I'm not brand friendly if you just want me to sell your unethical crap. And there's the problem, isn't it? So a really good company with like good ethics at heart, and some of them are starting to exist maybe, because the world has to have them, otherwise it's going to be destroyed completely. So, you know, certain companies with good ethics at heart, like where I can say, you know what, the money going into that is actually going into the right direction. And the people that run those businesses seem like, I've listened to them talking a thing, and they seem to have, you know, I can't trust everything everyone says. You know, even talks at the vegan conferences are sometimes marketing tools, but you know, I believe in them. I'm willing to, you know, to believe in the truths that they appear to speak. And maybe I'm being influenced. Oh no. But you know, if you run a vegan company because you're a chuffing vegan, I can't go around your house and like dig through your bins to see if you've been eating burgers, can you? I just have to trust that you probably do, because you probably are. Anyway, like, you know, that sort of thing fits with us. Great. You know, they get even more value because they know that the trust, I'm not breaching the trust. I'd take a sponsor, and only a sponsor that fit those ethics. So it'd be like double bond. It'd like be double good, seal of approval. Whereas this chuffer might just, and I'm not saying she would, she might be an influencer that promotes charities. She might be working for a homeless charity as an influencer. She might be, or she might just be selling makeup or fitness juice or this kind of shaker for your drink or that kind of drink or whatever, just because, like, being a model, people liked her pictures. Like, do you know what I mean? So I don't know where she sits between Gandhi and Gabby Petito, but like, she sits somewhere on that list, so I'm curious.
I honestly can say that this is probably the first time I've ever met an influencer.
Really?
Yeah, no. And I listen, I want to learn more about...
Idiot. I can honestly say that I'm like a newborn child. I'm like Simba in The Lion King. You're going to need to teach me everything. I don't know which way to hold the pizza box when it arrives. Oops, it's on the floor. Date me, I'm an idiot. Like, come on. I've probably never met an influencer. You just, come on. Don't say things that make you sound like a chump.
Influencers, influencing, and if that's what it's called, and social media.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it like to work in? What's your day-to-day like?
That's not what I want
Do
to
you know what?
now she's going to go on and on about herself, and like this is something that I don't like. Is I do like to learn things about people. I do like to ask them, you know, absolutely. I always say I ask questions more than I answer them. You know, I'd like to open-ended questions, learn things about people. But I do this, I do that. I is not my favourite letter of the alphabet, and I don't like to hear it from me. I'm doing a lot of it now on stream actually, but from her, I feel like I'm going to enjoy this less. What I wanted to know was, you know, what kind of influence do you project? What are your values? There's some influencers that would try and they might not be right. This is a really good example. There's a guy called Darren G. I shouldn't speak his name lest he appear, but Darren G used to be in prison because of a murder rap, basically, and now he's out of prison. He's on the social media saying choose a life, not a knife, and promoting an anti-crime, anti-knife message. So that's good. Like, he, in terms of his ethics of the way he lives his life and has lived his life, the actions he has taken, like, I don't agree with those ethics, of course. Like, some of them have been pretty, like, way off what I would be doing and agree with. The way he is now operating on social media, I agree with that message. So as an influencer, is he himself someone that I want to sort of hang around with day to day and like trust? Well, it's going to take a bit longer of preaching that message for me, because, you know, you've got this amount of your life when you were doing the bad things, and then you've got this amount of your life when you're doing the good things. Let's have a bit more of the good things. Let's see it, you know, let's see it, believe it, you know, let's see it in action. And he is, to his credit, doing some of that. Sometimes he does a bit of like rapping that can be a bit like edgy. So I'm a bit like, but the message, what he's doing, his influence, the thing he's doing as an influencer is positive, and he's constantly and consistently doing that. Sometimes he is a bad influence because he, as a role model, maybe doesn't take himself. Maybe I am sometimes, because as a role model, maybe I don't take myself seriously enough all the time. But I'm deliberately a good influence because I'm not going to, like, for example, I've been smoking through this broadcast. I'm not going to do it on camera like, well, smoking great, what flavours are you smoking? Like, I think it's naughty and bad, and it's a negative, and, you know, I'm doing it because I've got a bad habit. So I'm not going to promote it and be like influencer, you know, you're not going to see me smoking sort of thing. I'll honestly talk about it because I'm honest, but you're not going to see me smoking, right? Cool. But so you can be a bad influence by being a bad role model without thinking. But what are your values? Can you name them? What are you influencing? Who are you influencing? Why are you influencing them? And what is the message? What is the value that you're influencing them with? So that's what I want to know about this influencer. Oh, doggy came running in. You're right, doggy. That's what I want to know about this influencer. I'm not that concerned with like what's your day like.
Every time that I answer this, people,
because now what it is she's a celebrity, and I'm asking her like the celebrity. It's like she's being interviewed. You know, I get this all the time. You know, I'm a celebrity. They always ask, oh, what are your interests? Where'd you get your ideas from? Oh, you know, I'm a celebrity. That's not what I want to know.
just draw their own conclusions.
I promise you, I'm genuinely interested, okay? And I can still judge you if it's a DOS.
It is definitely not a DOS. It is a full-time job. Like, let me tell you, I have to make and stockpile content, manage.
It was rude of him to suggest it was a DOS, because anyone that can afford to, you know, live in London must be grinding something out, mustn't they? But yeah, I get that it's hard work. Yeah, I get that. I'm not interested in that.
Interactions, like all of that sort of stuff. I do feel really lucky to be doing it because, you know, I'm earning a living off of it as well, and it's all right. It's a good job.
Of course, my goodness, it's brand marketing in the most visible way possible.
Is that what you're doing then? Are you doing brand marketing in the most visible way possible? So you're basically handing out flyers, like you work for a marketing company. You do what people tell you to churn out some crap for them, and they do it for someone else because of the money.
I think it's actually really cool.
That's exactly it. You've got it.
It's kind of what I do on Twitch.
I'm going to change the subject if you don't mind. You know,
Well,
I
never
just
got
feel
to answer
like
my question.
when I'm talking about my work stuff, it's a bit shit chat, really.
Yeah, of course. We wouldn't want that. I'm happy to change the topic of conversation.
So if we weren't in lockdown, where would you take me on a...
Listen, in reality, I don't think she's going to be changing that subject. think we're going to be talking about her being an influencer a little bit longer than that, to be honest. Or we're going to be talking about some, like, there's this other, like, it's like they've got some sort of bubble on their head. Because I've met a few of these people, bear in mind. I'm talking about reality people that I've met in reality who work in this field, who seem to, like, and it's like, oh, you know, I've got to try and think of a good example that I could, like, in their head, they're thinking about, like, how to launch an ebook or how to get connected with that brand or something. And so they'd, like, that would come up in chit chat, like, you know, and it's just like, what? What? I can't think of a good example on how to explain it any better than that, but yeah.
Ooh, I really don't want to get this wrong. I hope that I picked something that you'd like.
Spit it out, mate. Come on.
What are we doing here? Okay, well, I'm going to a museum and an art gallery.
Okay, indulge me in this one, but I would probably go for something like the Two Tates or the V&A or, oh my God, the National Portrait Gallery.
If it's for a date, then absolutely that's the best choice, because you can have a talk about the things that you're looking at, get to know each other. Good. Oh, there goes my battery, and I'm pulling a bad face. It's not often you're pulling a bad face when the battery goes, but this time it has. Pulling the bad face. He's coming back. He's coming back. He's coming back. Hope you've been a good boy. He's coming back. Or girl, or person of non-specific gender. Hope you've been good. He's coming back. And now he's not. It's not focused on chuffing Max Verstappen, eh? Chuffing Max Verstappen. Chuffing. Now I'm out of focus. It's all Max Verstappen's fault. I need something better in the thing that you can focus on, that you can see better, that looks like a face you can focus on. Does that look like a face? What kind of face have you got, mate? I've got buttons on it. No, that's my nose. That's my nose. It's not buttons. That's my face. That'll do for now. And that's my train of thought. So let's resume.
Wonderful. We could go there.
That's not really my vibe, you know. I'm sorry to disappoint.
No, I get. Not everybody's into.
How'd you start on that? What she's just said there. I'm not in focus enough, you know. I have to lean forward to be in focus. I don't want that. I'll move the chair a bit. So I'm still not in focus, am I? You chuffer. There's not enough here for me to get a good look on. No, my tummy's really rumbling as well. That's all going off. Focus on your hello. That's my little face. I'm talking. When's it in focus? About there. We're having this now, whatever focus it is. Don't know why I've left chat on. Chat hasn't moved for ages. I've just left it on. Look, it's a bad look. It's a bad look if it's not moving. It's alright. We're just a small streamer. Just an affiliate, a small affiliate. What's been said and what's being done and what's going on in my head. She just said that was about, like, how dare she? It's not a bad choice. It's a good choice, because we can spend time talking. It doesn't matter if it's not your vibe. You don't have to live there. Just go around, have a look, do some talking. Oh, and for her to be rude and just be like, right, shut you down. You're a fucking divhead. No, we're not doing that. No. All right, well, we're going to have a good relationship, aren't we? Because when I suggest so, I didn't say that's what we had to do. Just suggest something. You're going to be mean to me. I don't like it.
That kind of thing. So
I don't strike myself as a museum person. So I'm not.
Why? Because you don't like things. Because you do like things and objects. You're an influencer. You just don't. The problem with the museum is that they're not products, are they? They're not products. So no one's been trying to hype the stuff in the museum, have they? No one's been trying to hype the stuff in the museum. No one's been, like, you know, seen out with stuff from the museum. No one aspires to wear the stuff in the museum because some posh person or rich person or famous person is wearing the stuff from the museum. So it doesn't bother you, does it? It's just old stuff in a museum. It's just the history of where you've come from, how you got here. It's just how people lived, so that you've got some sort of cultural contrast point, so you can understand how lucky you are. So you can understand it. It's just how it just gives you a good context to help you understand the world. It's just a series of objects that we've decided as a group, as a society, as humanity, are worth saving forever, putting on display. They could be art pieces. They could be just objects. You know, they could just be things. They could be nice things from ancient history, like hundreds of thousands of years ago. How's that still here? It's interesting. It's interesting, is it? It's interesting now. Does it make you think about all the people that came before you and all the people that will, and, you know, everything and all that? Yeah, kind of. Well, yeah. Yeah. No, it's just boring. It's nothing. Is it everything that's ever happened in humanity put in front of you as like a series of little taster, a little taster plate of everything that's happened in humanity, and you can have a little look and a talk and a think? That's boring to you. What are you interested in? What are you interested in? Because it can't be anything that's ever happened. Bear in mind. It can't be anything that's ever happened. You're not allowed to say fashion, because fashion's in the museum. There's a museum of fashion. Art, there's clothing, there's, you know, stuff like that. You're not allowed to say that. Music. Oh, okay, music. Music history, music in history. There's old music. You not like the old music, I suppose. Just the new stuff. You're not allowed to. Oh, God. I wouldn't. I'm pressing spacebar. It's thrown me that much. It's supposed to be a resume game buttons over here. I can eat some chocolate. I can eat that. And
Sure why you would have got that.
I just thought maybe that it would be something interesting for us to...
It doesn't matter. This is that game again. My chuffing tummy. I don't want to put food in you. But I have to. The game is, she's telling us we made the wrong choice. And what she's telling us, actually, this is important now, this is a big face one, I need this for the edit. And so I'll be out of focus for the edit, brilliant. Find the focal range, where am I? Oh, it's actually further back, is it? Brilliant. What she's telling us is that we made the wrong choice, because you should know that she's not into that. We should have known a better choice would have been bars, clubs, something like that. So it's not about us being honest. It's about us choosing the right answer for the right girl by judging her personality, predicting her answers. Maybe we can play through it again and get the right answer next time. That's not what dating's like. In dating, you should be honest about yourself. You should be finding out what... I mean, at least she's being honest. When she said, oh, that's the wrong answer, at least she's being honest. You know, that's cool. But she was brutally honest. Actually, I do prefer brutal honesty, maybe. I prefer brutal honesty than manipulation. You should, young lads, if you're listening to this, because this is put from the perspective as a young boy dating girls, you're on the internet, social media, whatever, in real life, your objective is not to give them the right answers, the things they want to hear, so that you can then shag them or whatever. That's not the objective of dating. That's sort of some kind of like strange coercion. It's a strange, I'm not, you know, I'm just saying no to that. What you should be doing is open, honest dialogue so that you can learn about each other, so that if things are right between you, then you're both open, eyes open, have the information to make the correct next steps. And it might be that you want to see more of each other, and it might be that you don't. That's both fine. Both of those results are fine. Both fine. It's about being true to yourself, respecting yourself, and respecting someone else. That's what it's about. And by doing it this way, by giving her the right answer, oh, you should have known that I didn't like that. You should have said pubs. But I think theatre, and what did I say? Museums. I think museums. So I shouldn't say pubs. just because it's the right answer for you. That would be the wrong thing to do. I say what's honestly me. You be honestly you. But don't expect me to try and say what you think you should hear. That would be the wrong thing. That would be dishonest. And then that, for you, that would be not respecting yourself, because now you're not being honest about yourself. So that's disrespecting yourself. So disrespecting someone else by lying to them, disrespecting yourself by not being honest with yourself. Absolutely full wrong. We're going to need to just pause a minute while I just run and get something, because I'm a right chuffer. Get that on there. And it is coming up to a time check. I'll do it like I'm on a radio, like I'm doing a radio show. A time check. It's coming up to 8 o'clock on a Sunday evening in the UK. So by 9 o'clock, I'm going to be walking that doggy in the next hour. So we're going to finish this date and see where it takes us. But I just need to say that for me, so that I know that I'm preparing the next hour. Okay, we can carry on for another hour easy. I want to carry on as long as possible. I'm a streamer, don't I? I want to be on as long as possible. Found it a nightmare to edit anything this week, but I want to create more stuff for me to edit. Brilliant. Maybe I just don't. Maybe I just don't edit this. Maybe it just goes up as it goes up. Anyway, look.
Maybe that's just because it's still cool stuff. It's just maybe different.
A bit like walking through a library for a first date. Where's the vibe?
Sorry? It's like walking through a library for a first date. So what she's done there is she's confused education. Like, she's obviously not that educated. Obviously. I'm saying obviously. Yeah, no, I'm saying obviously. Because if you were educated, and I'm not being snobby about that, it doesn't take money to be educated. It doesn't take brains necessarily to be educated. To have an appreciation for concepts like... people expressing themselves through literature, to like books, to like stories, to like well-written stories, to like well-made films, to, like interesting paintings. Those sort of things are not subject to class, nor are they subject to some sort of special intellect. Like, you can enjoy these things because you see beauty in them, and you can understand the beauty in them because you see it. So, even if you're into heavy metal music or skateboarding, that's arts and culture. But to say, so her perception of a museum is like a library. So if you're in a library, it's quiet. Museum might be reasonably quiet. People don't go around shouting quite often. They're quite polite, and it's reasonably toned down. Yeah, I get that. The books are all on the shelves. You can't see in the books, but there's a lot of excitement in all those books. There's a lot of interesting things, but you've just got to know how to use it, the system, the computer, find the book you want, maybe go for a browse. Okay, a library is not that visually stimulating, but there is a lot of influence and interest in those books. Influence, I use the word because she's an influencer, but I mean it because, you can learn things and be influenced by a book, can't you? And a lot of people have over the years. So if you're an influencer, you'd think that just even a library would fill your head full of magic, because think of all the concepts and ideas that are held in those books that you could utilize throughout your life as an influencer. Anyway, but no, a museum's like different to that. And if you don't understand that, because like a museum's got loads of everywhere you look, there's something interesting. Like in my room here, you can't see it, but there's nothing on the walls. I've just got one painting over there, Gustav Klimt. And it's not a real Gustav Klimt, is it? I don't own a real... I've got a print on canvas. Why have I got a print on canvas? Because it jazzes up the room, doesn't it? It makes the room look nicer. Well, imagine that, but every surface and every wall's got something on it, and you've got plinths. It's just full of interesting stuff. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. It's full of interesting stuff. It's not boring and buttoned down like a library, like boring and, shh, be quiet. You're allowed to talk about the stuff. It sparks conversations and ideas and interest. Whereas if you're in a bar, it's the same as you've always been in every bar. There's like people, you're not going to talk to all of them. Probably going to talk to hardly any of them. They're just meeting in the room. And then you find your little table or your little bit, and then you talk to the person you're with. Same as at a museum, whatever. It's just that it's louder, and you can drink. So if you've got a drink problem, you're all right because you're right where you need to be. Constant drink. But if you find that the more drunk people get, the more boring they get, then it's less enjoyable for you. And so there's that sort of time limit on the night where at a certain point it gets really rubbish, because even if you're enjoying drinking, you yourself can't keep doing it because you're just like, and then it's time to leave, so you get into this state at the end of the night. So that doesn't appeal to me. Whereas the interesting thing, what was different from this night drinking to that night drinking, when I went into this museum, I remember these art pieces. It made an impression on me. I can talk about these things that I thought and felt. It's like a memory I had. But that night drinking is just like the other night drinking, and I kind of black out at the end anyway. So I feel like it's a real unfair critique of museums, and I'm assuming that bars and drinking was the correct answer for her. But
I mean, libraries are cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, there is quite a lot I've been wondering. Do you usually use dating apps?
Do you know what? No, not really, but
it's an opportunity to get my name out there.
Using it as a lockdown boredom cure, really. Yeah.
Oh God.
What about you?
I'm going to pause that for a little minute because everything gets a big pause of me talking, doesn't it? But she's using it as a boredom cure, which says to me that she's been using it a lot because she's been bored and it's been curing it. So how many other chuffers has she been talking to? I expect she's got loads of dates lined up down the local library. That's why she doesn't want to go there. She's trying to put me off because that's where she's going to meet her boyfriend number 1. I'm going to be boyfriend number 3, taking around the chuffing supermarket.
The main reason will probably be...
I mean, we're all guilty of it, and it's literally the weirdest time.
Guilty of what? Oh, she's saying guilty of like playing the field, like it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing if you want to have lots of short dates and you're not want to commit into anyone. You just want to be social. It would be worse if you were convincing those people they had a long-term future with you each time and like putting a lot of yourself into it and then pulling the rug. That would be worse. That would be bad. But it's okay to be open and open-minded and young and free and single. But she just put a guilt thing on it. So now it's a guilt thing. So now if I say I'm doing it, it's a bad thing. I'm some sort of player. But like she's admitting to it like it's a guilt. Like I don't like those dynamics in her psyche. But I'm going to say looking for a
Gosh, I don't want to come across too forward. I just really want to find someone who's on the same wavelength as me.
Oh, okay. You actually know what you want.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I think I do. Yeah.
Wow. That's actually pretty rare to find in a guy, our age.
Same
when I think about me and sorry to cut you off, me and my life, like I don't even know what's best. I have got a lot to consider.
Okay. Just because of like work and stuff?
I've just got a lot to juggle.
Is what she's trying to say there is either I'm such a big I am that I'm important and I've got lots of, or she might be trying to say I've got other relationships that I'm juggling. So I don't like those sounds either.
Fair enough.
So it sounds like you've actually been all on your lonesome during this lockdown. Is that right?
Yep, you are correct.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Lost your marbles yet?
Oh, long ago. I mean, no one deserves to be cooped up in this flat for this long.
Oh, yeah, I feel your pain. We've been locked up for a while too.
Do you know what? I think it would be quite a nice idea to see each other's flats.
Like a
rude.
tour?
I assume it's been so long since you've seen someone else's place and I haven't seen someone else's place in what feels like forever.
Feels like it's been 10 years.
Oh, do a tour of mine. I'm not going to be rude and ask her to show me all her rooms. That's her private space. She's deliberately chosen to use something nondescript and could be anywhere. So rather than make her specify. Well, let's have a look at Vinny's flat and let's judge.
Well, listen,
Vinny.
I could give you a tour of my abode if you're interested.
You know what? I am actually, because it would be refreshing to see someone else's prison.
Great. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let me show you around.
Luxury prisons
Let's
that
do
we all live in.
it.
Okay, where first? All right, cool. So this is sort of my main chill space, if you will, and
Okay.
trophies, because I think I was a winner at some point in life.
No, I can't. I mean,
Again, nothing to write home about, but it's my home.
Can see that, you know, the decor is a
skip.
bit, ooh, and I think you
Chuff
probably
it.
could have done with my help choosing the furniture, right?
That is savage.
What's going on there?
You don't like the sofa?
I'm just being real, like,
Do you actually think it's that shabby?
I'm sorry, I know I'm being very honest, but
Should I be serious or cheeky? I don't know what the response is, but I don't like her being that. I don't know. It's weird. Like, I'm honest, yeah. Like, I like brutal honesty, so I'm not going to say I don't like her being that honest. But she's being rude, isn't she? She's using honesty where it's not required for reasons that are not she's not. Now, if you'd said to me, "Do you like this sofa?" and I didn't, I would tell you that I didn't. But if you're going on a tour of your house, I'm not going to pick out your sofa and say, "What's going on with that?" That's rude.
These are hand-me-downs. This is like vintage stuff.
I can tell that they're hand-me-downs. You know, the word vintage and just anything vintage, it doesn't cut it with me. I'm sorry. No.
Fair enough.
But where we off?
So wait, there's a problem here because I said serious cheeky. Like, I actually agree with what she said. That wasn't on the offers. Vintage just means old, and antique is a certain number of years old. I think it's 50 years old. Vintage is not 50 years. It's just old stuff, and it became like a trend, didn't it? Like a fad, because everything goes through this recycle. The 60s come back into fashion every few years. The 80s come back into fashion now because they're old enough, and so things that were old get resold. You want to say vintage rather than second hand, or pre-owned sounds better than like used. Do you know what I mean? It's just marketing speak, isn't it? So I'm surprised she doesn't like it, because it's just like there's loads of influencers who are vintage influencers and they're into vintage stuff, or they were while it was massive and trendy, and now we're probably into something slightly different because you've got to keep changing with the trend, I imagine. I don't know. It must be weird, that, mustn't it? Actually, that must be really weird, being an influencer. And I'll get that battery. Come on, Scotty, I have to get that battery charging just in case, because we're going long. Being an influencer and having to imagine the thing that you're like big into or from goes out of fashion, because all fashion goes out of fashion. That's what fashion does. It's cyclical. Then all of a sudden you're out of fashion, aren't you? God, I wonder if you change or if you stay it out for like 40 years until it comes back round. But vintage, yeah, I agree. Like, you can't just be like, oh, it's vintage, therefore it's like stylish and good. Vintage is just a marketing word for old. So you still have to have taste and be able to put things together and know when something's clapped out and when something's got character. And I don't necessarily like his sofa. I certainly wouldn't save anything leather, like, not myself. But it seems a bit weird to be getting het up on it. This date's gone really badly.
Show me the rest.
Let's move on. Let's hope you like the kitchen.
I'm an honest lass, you know?
Okay. So yeah, this is my my kitchen.
She just said she's an honest lass, and do you know what? The more I hear her being honest, the more I actually like that about it and her. And even though it's going really badly, in my reality, in my life, these are the sort of dates that I actually would say, do you want to go on a second date? Because I feel like there's some unsolved, unfinished business. Like, it's like we're having an argument, no one's won. Like, no one's said overtly what the argument's about or whatever it is. I know my values are slightly incompatible with hers, and I know that she like has this. Like, I can imagine being in a situation. She's one of these people that she's honest. Honest all the time. You think it's rude, you think it's bad. Then you're out in public. She says something honest to somebody in the supermarket. They turn on her, and you go, "Hey, I'm defending her. I'm defending her. She's honest. She's saying you end up defending her honesty, even though normally you're like, God, why did you say that?" Like, you actually, it ends up being like a characteristic that you not only sort of forgive, but it become endeared with, and defending, and like like, how can I critique it? It's honest, isn't it? It's maybe just like, you know, maybe I've been taught to withhold some of honesties for the sake of people's feelings, and then it's not always appropriate to shout your honesties. Like, it's almost like she's got some sort of I'm not making a joke out of it. It's almost like she's got some sort of Tourette's or some sort of, you know, no filter problem, which is maybe an autistic or Asperger's sort of signal as well. So I'm not saying, oh, she's got an Asperger's. I'm saying that is actually a real thing that people do, you know, have as a personality trait. So whilst it can be difficult, it can also be endearing as well. So there's something to it.
And I've nearly burnt it down a few times.
Yeah, I mean, it could do with a bit of a tidy, but you know what? I would actually cook something.
Because what's good is, you know, she's not faking you now. You know, she's saying she might actually cook something there. She might actually cook something there. I can take it for honest because she said it. It's what being an influencer is about, isn't it? But, or could I? Or am I? Oh, God, am I being trapped by her honesty? Am I being confused by her apparent honesty? Maybe you're brutally honest about loads of stuff and then lie about one thing. Oh, I don't know. Oh, God. I can't work those manipulations. I don't have that level. I just have the honesty. But yeah, so what I like about it is, you know, that, like, she says I don't like it's not tidy enough. I know that if I tidy it up, problem solved. I know that she doesn't want to go to the museum, so I don't take her to the Chuffing Museum. I go on my own. I take her somewhere else. I don't have to make her angry because I know where I stand. That's good. When people don't say anything and then get cross, and then later on it turns out that they thought this thing and I didn't know because I'm a bit ignorant, and we're all a bit ignorant, you know, and it's not easy to see inside someone else's head, and we've all got our own things going on that like cloud our vision. I don't know.
Yeah, it's good. It's a decent kitchen.
Yeah, but show us what we all want to see then. What's in the fridge?
Get your willy
Fridge. You want to see the fridge? I mean, you've kind of caught me on a good day because I just did a bit of a weekly shop.
Okay,
Vegan,
so what's it filled with? Would you say you eat clean or?
This is always a good question, isn't it? Okay, kind of looking at the contents of the fridge now. I'd say I tend to eat quite clean, yeah.
Yeah, same.
I mean, the salad drawer is pretty much always full.
We're like food twins.
Got some nice stuff in there, love chives.
I am the fussiest eater
That's good.
ever.
Are you?
You know, when someone else cares about what goes into their bodies, like, you know, I appreciate that.
So she's obviously vegan then, because she cares about what goes into her body. She's seen the latest science over the last sort of 10, 15, 20 years that's been adding up to meat and dairy being bad for you, eggs, cholesterol, you know, fats and heart disease, processed meats, processed food. She's seen all the latest science about what you need in terms of proteins, in terms of, you know, fats as well, but, you know, balance these things, and that you actually get all that from the vegan diet. And it's the most, she's seen that and she understands that.
Okay, where do you think we're going next?
I don't know, it surprised me.
It is a surprise. Okay.
Where are we going next? What's the next part of
Outside.
this?
And last but not least,
The roof.
bedroom.
Yay!
My
Okay.
room.
What's that?
Right, okay.
Everything's gonna, this is weird because I'm a weird person now, because my bedroom, I'm not going to take you up there and show you, but it just has a bed, and there's a little bedside table. There is a little drawers thing, cupboards thing with the things in it. There's like a few books. That's about it. I haven't, like, what do I need in there? I just go and sleep in it. Just need the bed, really. I don't need all the other stuff. I like the lamp because sometimes I don't want it to be dark. But other than that, I'm just like, you know, I go in there in the bed and that's me. And then I get out of the bed and I'm gone out the room. So it doesn't have to have any stuff. No, I don't need a telly or anything, nothing. No stuff in my room, just the bed.
Is this where the magic happened?
Okay, during lockdown, not so much.
I mean, yeah. Not for anyone in lockdown.
I'd like to go somewhere, I'd like to swerve this and go somewhere through the middle. I don't think I would ever self-deprecate because I don't think it's worth saying bad things about myself when I honestly don't even believe them. They're all good, all good. But also, I'm not cocky. Like, and if I were on dating setup, I'd feel nervous, probably. So, cocky, not compatible with nervous. Self-deprecate, more like my sort of personality for most stuff. But if you were going to say to me, oh, what kind of cook are you? I'd say, I'm quite a good cook. I wouldn't say I'm Gordon Ramsay. Not, you know, I'm not going to try and claim to be something I'm not. But at the same time, I can certainly, you know, spatchcock a pheasant. Certainly, I wouldn't because I'm vegan. Could certainly roast a turnip. Look, anyway, let's just say cocky.
But post lockdown, I mean, I don't know, if you play your cards right, then
Oh,
That's all right. That's funny.
you can do better than that, mate. Come on.
no, okay, no, I'm not having that. You set me up for that one.
I know. I didn't think you'd take it and go for it. Really.
Damn. Okay, let's.
That was only a little, like, you know, playful bit of language. That wasn't like me saying, "Hey, baby, I've done 1,000 press-ups," like you did about your influence.
Let's wrap up bedroom gates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's wrap
Okay.
that up.
Okay, and that concludes our tour.
Appreciate
She's not
that.
so happy now, is she?
Thank you.
She's not
Yeah,
smiling
I'm not
as
really
much.
sure if my decorating.
Yeah, you
interior
don't know what you're
is
doing,
like
do you?
that.
You need my help.
No.
Did you get the furniture from like a jumble sale or?
Don't, no. This is good furniture, I'll have you know. This is good furniture.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. I hope that your experience of digital dating has been good so far.
Yeah, it has been, for sure. Thanks, Paige.
All right, see you. Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
That's the end of me and Paige. Me and Paige are not. We're just. There's no. It can't possibly. That can't go anywhere. Right, we've dated Maya before, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to skip through and give the correct answers and see if we can make her really happy with us. Because last time she didn't like us because I told her I was like a vegan and I wasn't interested in getting wasted. And then she had someone come around the house, knock door. "Oh, I've got your weed, Maya." And I was like, you know, me personally, I don't mind, like, you know, having. I'm not going to talk about it on Twitch because it's not compatible with the terms of service because in the UK it's illegal. But if you were in a country where it was legal, it wouldn't bother me. But it would bother me that there's men coming around bringing you drugs whilst we're supposed to be having a private moment. So you enjoy the men and the drugs, and I'll have private moments with somebody else. That was my outlook on it. So let's...
I've actually
I can
heard a
use the
few
skip now.
footballers interviewed that sound a little
You
bit
sound
like
a bit
you.
Spanish.
That has to be a Spanish. I think I don't know, probably just a good ear for these kind of things.
Yeah,
Just-
come on. I know.
It's knowledge.
It was a lucky guess, right? Own up to it.
I don't know, everyone can recognize the Spanish accent, right?
I mean, it's awkward because I'm.
So, how's lockdown been treated? Okay, they all grabbed my attention immediately, but...
If I had to pick one thing about the amazing things about you, I would pick.
Sure,
Right,
yes.
I get
That's
it,
exactly
I
what
get
I
it.
meant. That was underneath. Okay, I got it. What kind of parties are you into?
Partying, right?
I saw
That's
that,
the
I
one
saw
you
that.
like. Okay. Well, everything really. I have a lot of energy, so I go to like raves, I go to house parties, I go to festivals. Every weekend there's something, you know. Sundays for me are.
So this is cool, right? If I was in my early 20s, then that would be fine because I used to do that myself. And like right now, I wouldn't want. And the problem is, this is pandemic as well, isn't it? So, you know, I'm not going to be doing that post-pandemic probably. No, I don't want to say ever again, but there are other reasons now why I wouldn't want to go other than just like not. Like, I don't drink anymore. I don't get wasted anymore. So there are other reasons as well. Like, but she obviously is into going out, getting wasted, going to raves. The correct answers here, if you want to date her and see her more, it's answer this way, isn't it? So I know I'm learning how to correctly answer my way through, but it feels like I'm 9.
Struggle.
So wait, sorry. Every single weekend you're...
Well, yeah.
Wow,
I mean,
okay, you go hard.
Yeah, after a night out, I get in at like 7 a.m. It's fun. It's like once I stayed up for 2 days straight, and I was teaching the next day, and I was supposed to be teaching Spanish, but I kept speaking French. It was
Your poor students, they're probably out there speaking some weird hybrid language.
hybrid language. What is this?
What, hybrid?
Hybrid language.
Oh, okay, sorry. No, so like a mixture. So that I meant that your students will be out there speaking 4 different 5 different languages in one. Is what? Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Yeah. Whoops. I mean, no. You know, whatever. I mean, partying can be a problem for some. I mean, it was a problem for the last guy I dated.
Oh, really?
But I don't know. Like, well, what do you think about like letting your girl have fun?
In terms of, okay, what? So in terms of like just letting your partner go out and do their thing?
Yeah, like, it's important, I think. I'm just...
It's really important. It's really important. It's a good question to have raised. They've raised it in a very strange way, though. They've, you know, for the art cut here, let's go big face. For the art cut, go big face. I'm turning the chat off unless someone else has got something to say. And, yeah, they're broaching this topic of freedom within a relationship, but they've done it in a strange way, because the girl that we're having to talk about it with is not just the because every relationship you should have freedom to go and do whatever you want on a weekend if that's what you want, you know, for her, for me, for them, for him, for her, for him, for him, for him, for they, you know, try to pronouns, whatever, like for anyone. That's a cool part of a relationship, to have that trust and to also not want to spend all your time out partying without your partner, because otherwise why are you in the relationship? You know, to have the freedom but to not want to use it all the time is probably a good balance. But you know, to do it sometimes is also cool. But it's weird that we've been presented this choice of like, I could have a relationship with someone who is always out like mad partying and I have to sort of put up with it, or like on the other hand, no, don't have any like moderation. I could suggest, but I'm not trying to moderate someone's behaviour. What I would say is that why can't I just come to the parties? Like if I want to party, but me personally I don't, so I'd be like, okay, do whatever you want, and if it turns out that whatever you want is every weekend you're out partying and we hardly see each other, maybe you should just date someone who like you do see, because that's part of dating, is to see them. So if you know want to have a relationship with me, then you need to spend some time with me. So I wouldn't want to, you know, pursue a relationship that I knew the time balance was going to be in favour of the partying always. I wouldn't want that. But you can party, it's just not in my... And if I was in a relationship like that, you know, I wouldn't be saying stop partying. I'd be saying it's not for me. Do you know what I'm saying? So, no. Let's resume, and I'm going to go back to the Nintendo Switch. I'm actually going to turn off the chat again. And not without me sounds really like domineering. You can do what you want, but I have to be there. No. You can do what you want without me. In moderation, I'm not going to moderate your behaviour, so party away. But at the same time, this is the correct answer, maybe, for this girl. It's the correct answer in everyone's life, but it doesn't mean that the relationship's going to work. You party away doesn't mean that I'm going to still be there at home every, 6 years down the line. I see you on Wednesdays, and that's our relationship. On Wednesdays, you're just not angry enough and come down enough so that you're happy enough to see me, and you're not out at a party because it's not the weekend. So I'll see you on Wednesdays. I don't, what's the point?
Listen, what can I say? I'm a pretty trusting person, and I have no issue with people going out and doing what they want to do.
Nice. Okay, Vinny. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to go and have fun and party, go and have fun and party. Well, who am I to tell you that you shouldn't do something?
But like I said earlier on, we did this date before, and it was going well, and then some boy knocked at her door and was like, oh, it's time to party. I've got the dope, and let's go party. And I said, well, I'm not part of this. I don't want to be part of this. Okay, I do have a part of me that gets a bit jealous. I'm not going to be untrue and dishonest and say I'm not human. And there's a part of me that would feel a bit sort of let down and a bit hurt. Oh, she's off with that boy. Oh, okay. I'll just stay in and wait for her to come home. Like, why doesn't she want me to party with her? There's a part of me that says that. So rather than feeling that all the time, I'd just be like, you go off and do what you want. I'll do what I want without you. Like, we're not compatible. But it doesn't mean the correct answer is let someone walk all over you and let someone treat you like dirt and like you don't matter to them, and you just always accept that their freedom is more important than your happiness. You don't boss them around, you don't tell them what to do, but you respect yourself and don't stay in a relationship where someone's not respecting you, and not wanting to spend time with you. I think that's a fair balance.
Yeah, and also, like, do you care about their lifestyle as well? Do you care, like, what they're doing?
Okay, cool.
Muy bien. I like that. Sorry. I get a bit aggressive when I'm passionate about something.
This is where he
Passionate.
corrects her.
Oh god.
I said that right, yeah?
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to say a bit of both.
This
each for
is a
extrovert.
big question. I'd have to.
So I think you can, get away with that. This is where she cuts off because we think she might be doing something dodgy.
It's like, no.
Okay. There's quite a lot I've been wondering.
I'll say
about
what you're drinking.
you, okay.
Oh, but you're not drinking.
Okay.
And I'll laugh off who Tom is.
Me, Tom.
Because she had a relationship with someone who she came to the country with, who she was in love
I'm
with.
coming. I'm coming. I'm so sorry.
This is the
I
fella.
told him that if he got some weed, that I would just smoke it with him straight away.
Fellas come round. That's the end of the date.
So Shayna, frontline nurse.
And now he's
God
telling
bless
us about
her.
it. I need to use
Yeah,
the
like
toilet. He can tell me what
really
he's
had
saying.
all her stuff worked out, and she's a bit older as well.
Oh, experience, lad. No substitute for it. So, good day.
Okay, if I was to be honest about it, it's just too early to tell, I reckon.
Okay. It sounds like there's still something in it for you, bruv.
Yeah. No, there definitely is.
Yeah, exactly, man. It sounds promising. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like, you know what? You can win this on aggregate. You found anything else about her online?
No, I didn't even get a surname.
And that would be easy if she's NHS.
Well, let me know what you find.
Shayna Sahar?
That could be her. Okay, let me check to see if she's on socials or anything. Shayna. No, nothing's coming up, I don't think.
You get what you need?
No, there's actually nothing.
Ah,
Not on social media, nothing.
no.
Damn. So Paige was this really tough model influencer type.
Rah. How'd you manage?
Do you know what? Solid, I think.
It sounds like there's going to be a second date.
I don't want to jinx it, but maybe.
It's not Paige Lee, is it?
Who's that?
Bruv, she is big. Even I follow her, for goodness sake.
Okay, hold on, let me check.
This guy is dating.
Paige Lee. Okay, I'll check. Hold on.
Sorry, I had the mic turned down. What's happening here is our friend does some stalking for us, and that's bad. Doing the odd internet stalking. And then I just said that... what the chuff did I just say? That I think this part of the game is so that we, the player, can understand if we've done well in the date and correctly answered the questions, so that we know if we're going to get another date and it was successful. So yeah, I've said what I don't need to say so at the end. so that
I didn't realize that she had this many followers. Wow. Damn.
I'm supposed to look down it now and be like, oh, this is model influencer, yeah. Look, there you are. Just looks like everyone else's profile.
Tell me you didn't go on a video date with Paige
Oh, I
Lee.
didn't look how many followers she had.
I went on a video date with Paige Lee.
You're a prick.
I didn't really like her.
Get off. Get off. How do I hang this up? Get off. I don't want you. I don't
Do you
want
know
you.
what?
I don't want to talk to you. I don't talk.
Bro.
Why are we talking?
I'm sorry.
Why
Hold
are we
on.
talking right now?
Dua Lipa's calling me. Dua Lipa's calling me. Sorry. So there was Maya, and do you know? Oh,
I can skip this. Skip that. Skipped. So we found out a bit more about Paige. We're only doing this now to find out about these people that I didn't want to date in the first place. And what we found out is that Shayna is actually... Look, she even looks better in real life than she does in that picture. Like, she's the don't judge a book by its cover character, isn't she? And because of that, they expect nobody is going to choose... Like, you get 3 choices. So no one's going to choose Shayna with a little baby, with the potential, you know, I'm going to date someone with a baby. Like, surely. So she's there as like a second playthrough character. I might be being really harsh there. But I just think it's, what's the word I'm going to use? It's statistically likely, and I haven't got any statistics to prove it, that young men, because that's who's going to be in the main playing this game, are more likely to choose ladies who don't have a baby. Statistically. So I think she's in there as like a second playthrough character. So therefore, they've given her this, like, I'm a nurse. Like, it's about the clap for carers. You know, we've managed to, because we're writing in some stuff about the coronavirus into through a character. So this one, Shayna, is less about, like, that date was, you know, it brought up some ideas, some themes, some ideas that were less about people and dating and were more about sort of what this game is, who it's, you know, what it speaks of, its place in culture, like making its little point. By the way, you know, we're a game from Britain that's talking about the pandemic during the pandemic, and we're representing different cultural points of view. Up the nurses, of course. We've got the nurses in there. She feels a little more... What am I going to try and say? I think she doesn't feel as realistic a person. The actual process of... I've been talking now for 2.5 hours, so my brain is starting to not let me put the words together properly. But her personality is less believable because she gave more exposition, in my opinion, about the time and place the game was written in. Deliberately. So while she was pretty and warm and I got a good feeling about her, like, I've been put off by her profile picture. She's the don't judge a book by its cover. But also, she's still not been the most warm and personable date, because sometimes, like, some of the things she was talking about were like historical exposition rather than actually a personality. And so maybe you feel, it's about feelings, isn't it? Dates and people, and maybe you feel less, you know, connected for that reason. And she kept getting up and walking away. But we're going to be dating Shania second date, and I don't care about these two. I suppose we have to choose Paige because we've already seen... Oh, we didn't see any further than Maya, did we? Because last time we binned her off. And we're trying to make sure we can win her. So we're going to win Maya. Of course they accept. I'm brilliant. Oh, it's game dates again, isn't it? Shane has chosen a quiz. 8:30. We've only got half an hour. This is going to take longer than half an hour, isn't it? What we're going to have to do. Let's just try and run through it. gonna skip this crap. Oh, I can't skip this crap.
Callum, are you serious? You're doing a hit session without me?
Yep. No time for slackers, mate.
Alright, fair play. I have a second date tonight.
Nice. With who?
Shayna, the nurse.
Ah, poor her. Having to deal with the pandemic during the day and then deal with you in the evenings.
Yeah, we're doing one of those quiz activities on the app.
Oh, hey, don't embarrass yourself, you know.
Yeah, listen, you don't need to worry about my general knowledge, alright?
Anyways, have you lot chatted otherwise?
We haven't, but that's understandable, right?
Yeah, definitely. She must be so busy right now. Consider yourself lucky.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna let you carry on with whatever it is that you're attempting to do.
Good luck.
I'll catch you later, Callum. Go on, I'll call you after.
Go on then. Ooh, she's not turned up. She's busy, she's a nurse.
Hey,
funny.
Hey, no. You must be the first guy ever to be stood up on a video day.
Shut up, man.
No, seriously. She must have been like called in early for an emergency shift or something like that, man.
Yeah, but she could have just messaged on the app or something.
Ah, come on, man. She must be mad busy, mad rushed.
Or she wants me to take a hint. Bye.
I guess that might be true, I suppose. Yeah.
This is difficult. I will pause and talk about this. As a boy, you know, still in the modern world, we want equality, don't we? We want equality in the modern world. But still, as, you know, modern world, men can be seen as more sexually aggressive. That's a bad thing. You know, definitely don't want to be sexually aggressive. To know when to take the hint, to say, you know, to know when no means no. Well, no means no, doesn't it? So she hasn't said no. She hasn't given you any direct, like, active, you know, she hasn't done anything, said anything. She just hasn't done something. It's like passive, isn't it? So I think it's fair. You know, I'm not recommending that you hound people who blank you. I'm not recommending that. Not recommending that. Oh, hi, Capital K. I didn't see. No, I'm talking to you because I said sorry at the start of the broadcast. You chatted last time and I didn't see the chat because I'm a chuffer. Let's turn you on. Boom. Yeah, I think it's okay to, like, this. What's happening is we're chuffing on through some of the other dates that we didn't do, and this one person didn't turn up for their date. I got blanked on the date. It's just been me, and she didn't turn up. And I'm saying that it's okay that, like, she didn't turn up, but then. He said, Vinny has said, God, it's like I know these people now. Vinny has said that, I like being ignored. I'm sorry, I wasn't ignoring you. I didn't know, I didn't see it. I had it turned off. Then it was under the other window, and I've got too many windows, and it's like, anyway, Vinny said that maybe she's giving him a hint, you know, she doesn't want to see him. So she's not turned up for the video date. So ergo, that's like a hint. But I wouldn't take that as a, you know, I'd give her the benefit of maybe it was a mistake. Maybe she had, like, you know, things went wrong or whatever. I certainly wouldn't immediately think, oh, she doesn't want to see me. Like, she's deafing me. Because why would she even set up the date? Like, that seems weird. So I need to have a bit more of a clear signal. And maybe that's fair. You know, I don't want to be badgering someone who doesn't want to see me. And I don't want to be, you know, pressuring someone who's given clear signals. No, but if she's just not turned up, I wouldn't, you know, like I say, I think it's fair, even in today's complex world, you know, and men shouldn't be sexually aggressive, but I think it's fair that you could sort of, you know, try and contact her and say, like, what do you think? Because if you want me to go away, you can just tell me I'm never going to talk to you again. You can say, never talk to me again, and I'll say, I'll never talk to you again, thanks. I won't even say that because I won't be talking to you. So, you know, you can have it your way, whichever way you want.
No, sorry. You're not supposed to say it. You're supposed to go, no, that's definitely not true.
Hey, do you want the truth or do you want me blowing roses up your ass? What do you want? Truth or roses?
Roses.
Exactly.
Roses, please.
We got Rosie, but now we've cut away because the truth is, and we all know the truth, is that Vinny and Callum are having their own. It's about Vinny and Callum really. These dates are just like in the way, but Callum's blowing roses up his ass now. So meanwhile,
Shayna, hey.
Hi.
You right?
Hi. Yeah,
look
look,
like
I want to
Rose.
say sorry for yesterday. I got called into work on an emergency shift.
it's all the thorns.
Listen, I kind of guessed, so it's cool.
Yeah, still, but I'm sorry, and I hope you weren't too inconvenienced.
Oh my god.
See, look, she's fine. She had a date, a thing. She had whatever, you know. It was fine. It wasn't that she hates us and never wants to see us again.
Goodness, no, not at all. How are you? Are you okay?
Yeah, shattered but good.
You looking?
Shattered or good.
Good. You don't look.
Vinny again with his smooth small talk, isn't he? His smooth small talk. He always says the right thing. He always see the women are. They're getting the only thing that's consistent in this game is Callum and Vinny. The women are up and down all over the place.
Shattered at all. You look very, very good.
No, I'm joking. I'm not buying it though. Look, I might as well be upfront with you. My job has got like unsociable and unpredictable hours, and that's just going to be amplified for the foreseeable future, which makes it really difficult to date. So, I guess I understand if you can't be bothered with that. It's just a shame because I was really looking forward to that quiz.
So was I.
So I actually like hurdles. I don't want a girl or a lady or a boy or I don't want a person to be deliberately obstructive. But I don't mind there being a few hurdles. Like, do you know what? I smile into myself because you're going to have unpredictable hours. Well, guess what? I'm unpredictable hours. Me as well. I'm like that. So that's cool. It's fine. It's not you are a chuffer. It's the world around you is chuffed, and you have to chuff and well fit in with it. You are not the chuffer. So there's nothing wrong with you. You work unpredictable hours. Great. I'll get used to being woken up at unpredictable times. That'll be fine, as long as you're not a right chuffer. If you're a right chuffer, then it's not going to work, is it? It's not about the hours, it's about the chuffer.
I don't suppose you're free now.
Well, obviously I am.
So I'm just thinking about what's...
Oh no, sorry, you're probably busy. It's midday. People have things to do.
Let's do it. Screw it.
Yes.
I'm up for it.
Right, okay.
What's the quiz topic? What is it, like general knowledge or...
Each other.
Have we dated Paige yet? Our arch nemesis? Yes. We've got a second date with her, but to be honest, it's more of a fight. She turned out to be an influencer, and I had to sit here and talk about influencers for about an hour. About how it's like the devil come up from the ground to grope me. No, I was a bit fairer than that. There are good influencers, aren't there, who've got good hearts. And I was just saying that, in terms of marketing, she tried to do the marketing in the date. She was on about she tried to do the marketing about herself in the date. And I was like, oh, I don't like this. And then I said, should we go to a museum? And she said, what? A museum? Like a library? Are you having a chuffing joke? What's wrong with you, you chuffer? And then I had to defend myself. And having to defend yourself on a date is not a good feeling. And look, General Geezer joined the crew. See, I am an influencer. It's good to have you in the ganjikidd crew. You get a magic thing on the telly that said you're in the crew. That's you, General Geezer. Yeah, so I'll be an influencer. I'll be a good one. There's pros and cons to everything. But Paige, oh God. And we've got to have a second date. So I'm getting myself a gum shield for the second date because I expect to be punched in the face. That's what I feel about Paige. In fact, the other fella, my friend Callum, he knew who she was. He was like, oh, I've seen her on the Instagrams. And it still didn't impress me. So what? I didn't like her. Now what? Now that loads of people have seen her pictures and I don't like her. It just makes no difference. I do think, though, at the end of it, what I did like was her honesty. I thought she was really honest. And overall, over the course of the date, she ground me down to the point where I thought, okay, I could hang out with you and I would defend you and your honesty. So there are good points.
As in us?
Yeah.
You mean me and you, just after one date?
Yep, I thought what better way to get to know each other than to make educated guesses about what we're into.
Okay, fair enough. Let's give this a go. I'm down.
I think the quiz will start if I just... There will be 3 questions, each with 3 answers. You must guess the other person's answer. The correct answer shall be revealed after each question.
Absolute minefield. If you're ever on a date and they want you to do stuff like this, just no. Find a way to avoid it. Find a way to... It's a total minefield. If you're going to want to get the right answers and charm them and say the right things, which of course this is a wingman simulator, remember, and we're trying to get the right answer. We're not supposed to chuff them off with our honesty, are we? If it was me, it just doesn't matter. Just be honest, it's fine. But remember for top tips for dating, don't go into anything like blindfold. You need to be able to read the social cues. You need to be able to see the smiles or the frowns, at least. Because if you start treading in the dog poo and treading it around the carpet, and you can't see them holding their noses and getting cross, you're going to keep treading that dog. It's going to get worse. You're not going to want to, even if it's what Scotty Hottie, recommends, honesty. Even if it's honesty, you can get too honest. Like Paige gets too honest, doesn't she?
Okay. All right. Should I click the first one?
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
This is
Okay,
danger.
here we go. What
Danger.
is Shayna's favourite holiday from these options?
What, Shayna? That's her name.
Oh, have you
Shayna.
picked? Yeah, you picked.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I've chosen mine. What do you think it is?
Okay, what's her favourite holiday?
Ooh.
Okay, cool.
You sweating?
So, are you trash talking over a quiz?
Sorry.
This is like even worse of a minefield. They put Diwali in. Now, am I supposed, because she was speaking a foreign language with her parents off camera in the previous date. Now, I like that. I think it's like interesting, more cultures, something for me to learn about. Maybe they have food that I haven't tried, whatever. But for me to just pick, you're probably into the most exotic, the Diwali is probably up your ethnic street, isn't it? Isn't it, love? That would set me out as like some kind of like casual, like ignorant bigot, like presumptuous ignorant. So I'm not going to be doing that, even if
Apologies.
even if I like Diwali, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to choose Christmas because everyone's favourite is Christmas. Halloween is not everyone's favourite. Ghosts, zombies, the devil, versus, bear in mind, there's just themes. Halloween, isn't it? Witches, themes, right? Versus Christmas, so like hats. I like hats. Big fan of hats. Christmassy hats. Santa, won't you bring me how much you gave me? It's Christmas. You get presents at Christmas. You don't get presents at Halloween. I don't know whether you get presents at Diwali or not. You probably appease the gods. Christmas.
Oh, this one. What? Halloween? That's your favourite holiday?
Yes. I thought that'd be easy.
No, I thought
What?
you'd been into something like family oriented.
Christmas doesn't have to be family oriented. Christmas is Christmas, mate. There's no like, you don't have to have kids to have Christmas. You don't have to, like, Christmas. What does she mean Halloween? Why is that the obvious choice? Why is that? I should have picked Diwali. I like a bit of Diwali. They say Festival of Light, isn't it? Festival of Light. It's not like my main one, though. I don't think it's anyone's. Well, I suppose it's somebody's main one. No, but even people who are in... I've got to get the name. It would sound offensive if I don't know the names of the right religions. I think it's Hindu, isn't it? I think it's Hindu, Diwali. Or it might be Sikhs. Hindu. It's definitely not Muslim. It's definitely not Christian. It's one of the religions, anyway. It's one of the religious festivals. And, like, so is Christmas. Christian Christmas is a religious... But Christmas is everyone, isn't it? Christmas is everywhere. Right, so the good thing about Christmas is that when you go out, when I go walking the dog, all of the houses down the road are lit up. Like, they're not all, like, Christmas is everyone. All the others, Halloween is just for people who like ghosts. Diwali is just for people who like light. It's for one religion specifically, if I could remember which one. I'm also part Indian, yeah, but I don't have to, like, follow the ancient traditions of the cultures of the people that I don't ever talk to and know. Right, my cultural heritage is both British and Indian. Like my, it's complicated, isn't it? So I'm not gonna just know about all these things just because, like, my great grandmother would have probably celebrated Diwali. I don't know anything about it. I know as much as someone who's just brought up in a normal British household that has no Asian cultural significance filtered in whatsoever. Yeah, it's a good question, that is. In a way, yeah. It's a really weird thing. I think we should do it on stream sometime. I should explain, like, it's like a podcast episode. Because when my dad came to England, his dad was born in India and, like, lived in India. And then he had a son, like my dad, and another one, his brother. They lived in India, but they went to schools that, like, taught British, like, were British, because Britain owned India, yeah? So, there were British, Indian, British, Anglo, whatever. But then Britain stopped owning India. It said, like, you have India back, Gandhi, stuff like that. So then they were like, right, we're going home to England, right? So they came back to England. So they considered themselves to be like British, Indian. But when they got to England, I imagine people that had lived in England probably said, oh, you look a bit Indian to me. They probably said that. And then they'd say, well, I probably sound it as well because I've lived in India all my life, mate. And, my skin's a bit different tone. But, like, through, like, another layer of, into... How many generations do you go before... it sounds really bad, like, before, something's, like, blended out to just, like, medium. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's the bit where I'm at. I don't know. So it's, yeah. So when I look back, what I was trying to say about the family culture is, like, when I look back into that Indian part of the family, that because you got your mom's side and your dad's side. So this is on my dad's side, and then I can't speak to his parents because they're dead. So it's my dad and his cousins and family, and they've got stories, and we've got, like, books and photos, and so we've got that. But it's like their perspective on it is that, like, and this is kind of hard to speak about in a way. It's not hard to speak about for me, but big face. Their perspective on it, I suppose, because of racism is to say, well, we're really British, like, we don't have, like, an Indian heritage, like an Indian side. Like, we're British. We were in the army, and, like, India got given to the Indian people, so we had to come to England. So, like, they would want to say, like, because Anglo-British, the British part, like, do you know what I mean? Because of racism, because of times being different, maybe, like, whereas I say that, my Uncle John's house, we'd go up to my great Uncle John, and Auntie Marge would cook jalebis. She'd cook, so the bit of the Indian culture that I do have, she'd cook the jalebi, she'd cook, like, kati kebab, she'd cook Indian food, and we'd eat Indian food. And my dad cooks Indian food, and we eat Indian food. But if I said to my dad, are you, like, Indian culture? He'd say, no, I'm British. So, like, it's a bit of a funny one. And so there's a beautiful thing in that. And then the other thing is that the religion, my great Uncle John, he was a Catholic, and the family, my dad's side of the family, the Indian side, are Catholics. So you've got this religious part because of British colonial rule. Jesus was introduced to them. Some of them, like, they're Catholic. So it's different again. Even though they've got the Indian culture, they decided to sort of British themselves up as much as possible, and that included following the Catholicism. Maybe they just believed in the Jesus as well. My great Uncle John believed in the Jesus. So, it's all a bit of a mix, isn't it? Like, you end up in England, and you're this confusing mix, and then you have some kids, and they have some kids, and then there's me. Like, and so when I try and look into that, have I wanted to get in touch with my Indian side? When I do and look into it, I'm told, well, British as well, mate, and this and that, and, like, there's not many stories of, like, it's not like the days of the Rudyard Kipling Jungle Book and stuff like that. It's much more like we do have a few stories of, like, what it was like in India when the family lived in India, and I think there's a lot of pride in. I think pride is a good word. Not good for me. I don't think pride is a good way to. Oh, I'm proud of this. I'm proud of that, and this was bad, and we're better than them, and all that. Not that, but I think for their own social balance, their own feelings of self-worth, as a family that's come from another country to settle in a new country through political upheaval. I think there was a lot of pride in them saying, we were hard-working British people that lived in India, even though even though the truth is that, we were like, if you trace my dad's side long enough, we were a British person who had children with an Indian person, like 4 or 5 generations up. That's where my dad's dad came from. That's where he came from. Like, that was where the mix, the full, where I can go back. So when I get to that point, there's no records of who this Indian person is and their Indian line and their fathers, mothers and mothers. But we haven't got any papers on them. We've got the British Army man and everyone after. But before it gets, I suppose it's more difficult, isn't it? And going out to India, we did consider it as a family trip, like me and my dad go out to India before the pandemic. And there's a few problems because some of the places we want to go, like there was a tea plantation. We'll do this as a podcast one day. We'll do it as an episode. Yeah, it is a lot, isn't it? It's a lot of genealogy. But we've got all these records. I can go back to like my great built we've got an aide de camp to Nelson. We've got somebody who became a structural engineer and built like lots of things in the country, like lighthouses and canals. And so there's like a lot of record of their goings on. One of them was the mayor of Newark, and all that. And then, so they got involved in all this being British and being like colonial. And one of them went out to India to do a tea plantation. So tea plantation, bad, isn't it? Remember, cultural colonial, like slaves, like wars. I'm not going to be like, oh, thumbs up for all the bad killing. Like, I don't know if they did any bad killing. Maybe they were nice. But some of what happened colonial-wise has a bad track record, doesn't it? But anyway, they went out into India and had this like tea plantation and were part of the Sibaskar light horse infantry. So they were riding around on a horse and they had a big, a big thing of India tea plantation business, doing the British thing. And then they were like, oh, hello, you Indian lady, Burmese lady. Like, let's have some kids. And like me come from that. Also go back to England and like not taking the Indian lady back to England, not telling the people in England about it. That's like we're having like 2 families now. So 2 kinds of family line. And I come from the Indian one. Yeah, that's like, that's how that goes. So I think we wanted to go to this place, this tea plantation. That's what I was saying. We wanted to go to some place in Britain has mayors. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. They're not as important as they sound. They're not as important as they sound. Being the mayor of Stratford's like an honorary title, so you could go and open supermarkets for a year. They need someone to cut the red tape at the supermarket when they open a new supermarket. But yeah, so in terms of going to India and following up on this story for myself, the place that I need to go, I know where I need to go. I know where the town is. I know where it is, but it's in a border area of India that is like, basically, I'll get myself kidnapped. Dad will get himself kidnapped. We'll get beheaded because we're in. It'll be like it's a border. It's a dodgy area of like, there's bad terrorism going on in the world, so it's dodgy for those reasons. And then my story that I'm going to be like asking these people about is, do you have any record of the old colonial rulers? Because in some ways I'm like the son of the son of the son of one of these people that maybe did something bad to your grand's gran. Do you know any records? And they might be nice. They might think, oh, hello, nice to see you all the way from England all these years later. Or they might say, oh, what are you doing back here, you chuffer? I don't know how well I'd be received with my story. Because I represent both sides, don't I? Like you said, it's my Indian heritage as well. So I'd want to... the mayors are just figureheads to Big Pharma. We don't have that in England. We have Little Pharma, probably. Little Pharma. Yeah, exactly. I'm not worth kidnapping. They don't think about that. They're just. My dad would offend people as well. He's got a way of saying things that make you go. I mean, I'd love to get my dad on stream for a podcast episode, but there's also things that I'd be like, oh, everyone feels like that about their parents in some ways, don't they? But my dad seems to have quite a way about him, and so being in a foreign country in a slightly politically fractious climate that could go badly wrong, man. That could go badly wrong. So yeah, that's. I tell you what, I would love to. There's things we can do. There's DNA testing. You know, we'd consider doing that. Getting more of a clear idea. There's some more of my family that I could invite in, talk to, that have other stories than I've been told. But of course, generations are dying out. You know, my great auntie Barbara is probably still around. She's probably the last of the great generation for me that can even remember living in India. You know, but they've got their stories. But then I have to follow up on that, don't I? And, you know, yeah, so there's a bit to do there. But for the other side of the family, for the non-Indian side, for the British bit, not my mom's side either, just on my dad's side, the British bit, it's easier because it's all there in public record, because most of them were soldiers or public figures of, like, the mayor or the engineer or whatever. Yeah, it's a bit of a project. My dad's really into this sort of stuff as well. He's done this sort of project. He's collated all the information. He's got the pictures, and part of our family's in Australia, and part of this happened here and whatever. But he's much more interested in the proving that we're British part of it. I'm joking there a little bit. You know, there's a lot of pride involved in some of these stories, isn't there? Of being, you know, this great aide de camp to Nelson, or this great person that did this thing, and we're related directly to so and so and so and so, you know. But for me, you know what I'm like you say, I'm overly PC, and I don't believe we should take the shame of the past on our shoulders, in the same way as I don't believe I should therefore be able to be proud of some of the past, because I didn't do it. I have to represent for us now, don't I? And I'm really not doing a good job, because I'm not the mayor of anything, and yeah, you know, I'm not aide de camp to anyone. I'm not, like, you know, they're not making any statues out of me. There is a statue in Newark, or at least a memorial plinth or obelisk for one of my relatives. Another one, like I say, has got his name memorialised in the buildings because they did the canal, for example, or you might have heard of the Great India company, who, you know, were big in India, and you might have heard of, like, the dry dock in Bristol, which still exists. It's a dry dock that was built by one of my relatives, my great grandfather or whatever. So, like, I'm not doing as well as him. I was sick into it once. I go down Bristol. I used to live in Bristol. I was sick into the river once, but like, I didn't build it. So that's me. Yeah, web browser. I'm happy the way it is. I think it's interesting being interesting, isn't it? And yeah, I think, you know what, you brought up a really interesting point there. Yeah, it's good, interesting conversation. See, we're having better conversations than they are on their dates. But yeah, that part of life backburned a little bit because my relationship with my dad's so difficult. Like, just having a conversation about anything's difficult. So, but I really would like to record it and get it down and explore it. And like you said, there are some, you know, like strands of the family tree that are just, like, sort of not there in ancient history wise, in, like, you know, we follow back and who knows. So maybe it'd be nice to uncover that. There's a show on in our country called Who Do You Think You Are, which is quite a rude name for a show. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? And what they do is they take somebody and they, you know, do a DNA thing and find their genealogy and tell them a story from their past, and your great person was this, and it's really funny because it could go either way. You know, they could be a real nice chuffer or a really bad chuffer. So maybe you don't want to know. You know, maybe my great, you know, somebody was a real naughty bad chuffer. I like to think romantically about these people, that they were nice people and did good things. But, you know, maybe they're out in India being bad people. I don't know. I hope not. I hope they had a good heart about them and were nice to people, even if the engine of the imperial Commonwealth was, you know, the reason that they were out there. I don't know.
Halloween?
No, I was a little emo.
She likes Halloween. She likes Halloween.
Like, yeah, cosplay.
Remember,
It's like my favourite thing to do as an adult.
She likes cosplay. Brilliant. Like 10 points. There's the 10 points for you.
Yeah, I actually go to all the conventions.
Oh my gosh, you wanted that. Okay, no, it's good to know. Good to know.
No judging, your turn. Right, pick your answer and then
Surprised
I'll
we
have a
talk
guess.
about that more.
Okay,
That
go
was a
for
good
it.
hour of conversation that we just passed
Question
over.
2.
Yep.
What is B's political outlook?
Oh, shit, that's a personal one, isn't it?
What?
Ooh. Okay.
It's not on there. Socio-economic, modernist, socialist. Because I believe, I need to take the dog for a walk in 20 minutes. I believe that we've got the means of production, not just now in our hands as people, but I believe we've got enough oomph about us, enough power in our economies that we don't have to pay for stuff anymore. I honestly believe that we don't like this point. The point of if you all arrive on the desert island, yeah, you all arrive on the desert island. Oh, it's tough, isn't it? Let's pool our resources so we all share the coconuts, we all share the stuff. Makes sense, doesn't it? Now the island's big and it's all our countries and we're not sharing anything. What's that? But, like, let's take 3D printing, for example. 3D printing makes things really cheap, doesn't it? Really cheap. The point of mass production was that things were cheaper to produce. That was the point of it, wasn't it? So now goods get cheaper and we can have more of, oh God, more of them. No, I thought the point was we had the cheaper and like, instead, inflation and finance and all that, things get more expensive. New stuff's more expensive, more expensive. Houses prices go up. Like, no, it's supposed to be that we're doing so well as a society that things are basically cheaper for everyone. I'd like to see it where just chuff it. Everyone can have everything they want. Maybe within reason. Maybe we have some sort of social benefit system where if you're like this chuffer who's going to work at the hospital for all these hours of the day, she can have the bigger house. I wouldn't begrudge her. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can have some sort of system where you can strive for the things you want in life. And as a society, we should have enough oomph about us, enough stuff that you can have it. That you don't have to struggle and scruff and spiff for it. You can just have it. Like, you know, there are some people that have got so much stuff that it would be possible if you had like just worked it out and evened it out a bit, isn't there? And what would people do? Oh, they wouldn't go to work. Oh, no, do you know what? Well, people would still want to have some reason for living, wouldn't they? They would, wouldn't they? They'd have a good reason for living, still pushing life forward, doing good things for each other, making sure things still, you know, the lights stayed on. We all play our little part. Maybe you want to move around jobs every couple of years. Maybe that's fine. Maybe we've got a system of social global movement where it's like imagine this, right? Imagine if, as a rite of passage, everyone at about the age of 17 to 20 something went around the world, stopping off at different locations, doing little jobs like working in bars, supermarkets, hotels, easy jobs that younger people can just do. It doesn't matter where you drop in and out, you know, you can just drop into this job system and it goes around the world and they can get a good view of life all around the world everywhere, like doing little jobs because the jobs pay for the system, you know, because you're doing this, we'll let you on the system. And like then all of a sudden you've got like this constant like move of these people, and so moving yourself wouldn't be that difficult. You just get on the flow, wouldn't you? Just go with the flow to the next place if you wanted to, and just drop into a different role, like because most of the normal jobs these days most of us could just drop in and out of, and you sort of accept to have to do maybe not a 40-hour 8-hour week or whatever, maybe just like, you know, like a 10-20 hour week just to make sure the wheels keep moving. Some people really care about stuff. They really want to get engineering, aircraft, you know, they really like it. And like you could do as much of that as you want, you know, and if you want a bit more social benefit from our system, like you can have a slightly bigger house or whatever the thing you want is, because you're prepared to do a bit more, fine. And if you want to do slightly less, that's fine. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer. When you get your head on you and when you feel good, you're going to want to start creating and producing and putting back because you're going to feel like it. You just will. People do. They don't just want to sit at home all day. They don't just want to sit at home all day. So then, you know, my system's good. So it's not liberal, it's not moderate, it's not conservative. It's more liberal than anything else, but chuff you.
Boom. Done.
Right. I'm answering with my outlook. And let's see if they align.
Oh,
Okay.
it's her. I'm supposed to be picking for her.
Oh.
She's moderate, is she?
Okay.
Oh, you're lefty.
Big time. I mean, there are lots of things I don't
Hang
agree with.
on. You can't work for the NHS and not be a lefty, because in our country, it's incompatible. It's like voting for the people that beat you.
And I'm all about creating a better
You have
society
to be a
for
lefty.
everyone.
Don't you think the
the best for everyone is a more balanced approach.
But what good is balance if people are still marginalised?
No, I agree with you, but I just think it's a bit
Oh, God, no,
unrealistic.
I wouldn't argue politically with her. I wouldn't, not at this stage. I would actually agree, yeah. And you know what? I agree with it. A slightly more balanced approach is important, but balanced over to the left, isn't it? You know, I'm not going to be a lefty and come out as being balanced, like I'm a centralist. It's silly. You have an opinion and you accept the compromise, but you don't. Your opinion isn't let's go for the compromise. Like I'm strongly down the middle. I really think neither this nor that. You know, that's not a thing. You either think this or that, and then you moderate that down to a more moderate opinion. Like, you can't strongly think nothing. You can't strongly be on the fence. It's the point of being on the fence is it's not strong, isn't it? So, you know.
To think that we can create a progressive society if all of our resources are pumped out.
Okay, maybe we should save this.
We can save this, yeah, for another time on our date. But I'll tell you now, our resources are all being pumped out. They're just not going to the right people, are they? You know, it's obvious at the moment in our country, all of our electric in the UK, everyone's prices are going up for their gas and electric and their bills. All of that's going up big style. And at the same time, we're pumping out hundreds of thousands of gallons of gas and oil out of the North Sea. But because we don't share that as a country, just the company that pumps it gets it. You know, it's not like the government have arranged for everyone to take a little share in that. You all get a bit of free fuel. If we did, half of the gas price, half of all our needs would be met just by that pumping out the North Sea in the UK. Half of it would just be met. Boom, done. So all of a sudden, either prices would fall by half, or like we're halfway to providing. We want green energy. We should have been on that ages ago, but we should be producing the green energy and just giving it to the people for free. Because once you set it up and they've got no energy costs, then everyone's benefit. I don't see why that's a bad thing. What pumping our resources out is pumping them into people's pockets so they can go and sit on a yacht. That's pumping them out. Every time Boris Johnson frivolously eats something like luxurious, another pheasant. Every time Carrie Johnson gets her Botox in her face, that's frivolous. That's our money.
Have a good conversation for another time.
I agree.
Shall I hit the next one?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool. All right. This one's good. Okay, what is Shayna most scared of?
Easy.
Ooh.
Oh, have you picked?
Yeah, easy.
Okay.
Oh, easy. Good job sexual battery's not on the list, isn't it? Good job sexual battery is not on the list. I've got to pick my words carefully because you can get beaten off Twitch for saying the wrong words, can't you? But it's a good job. It's a good job, like, intruder and intruder's not on the list because that would be both the worst thing to bring up on a date. You know, what kind of thing are you scared of? Imagine if I was coming around your house and kicking your door in. No, that would be a bad look on a date, wouldn't it? You don't want them thinking that about you. You don't think so. It's a good job that's not on the list.
What are you most afraid of?
But to be honest, you're more afraid of that than spiders, aren't you? Anyone. Like, a spider's not going to come and kick your bedroom door in, is it?
Okay.
So I'll go for heights. Although heights is silly as well because once you've been up high, you've been up high and nothing happened. So you sort of gather your feelings. And I've been up high. I used to do roofing, so I've been up really high. I've been up on some buildings where you'd be like, oh, that's a high building. Not in America, not like your American skyscrapers, not like that. Like, buildings that you can build with bricks. But like, normal buildings in the UK. I've been up on top of 4 stories, 5 stories. Been up on top of a big building. High up. I'm like, chuff this, man, it's high up. I've come up on a ladder. This is high up. But once I've been up there, and I'm like, nothing's happened bad, and like we're chucking the tiles around, and like you're literally throwing the tiles to each other and moving around on the roof. It's the same roof as it is, just lower. It's just higher. Like if you don't look over the edge and go, ooh, it's nothing. No, you're all right. You get over it. So heights, no. But this is her. What's she afraid of? The thing is, snakes. Again, that's irrational. I don't think anyone should be scared of snakes because if you've been around a snake, you might be scared at first, but when you've been around it, it doesn't do anything. It just sort of is there. Like, it just is there. It's not going to bite you. It's not slimy even. You might think it's slimy. It's not. It's just sort of cold and muscly, and it's just like a long sock muscle. So like a snake, it's fine. That's there. So there, snake. Spiders, they do make you do that, don't they? They make you, like, it gives you it's like a programmed genetic response. Oh, what is that, a spider? And then when you see that it is, same thing. It's like, okay, it is. So none of these are frightening. I'm going to say spiders because it's more common.
Okay, it's got to be these then. Surely.
Yeah.
Yes. Nice.
I hate even just talking about. Oh, they actually make my skin crawl just thinking. I actually can't even talk about them.
Okay, well
Well, I'm glad we brought this up on a date then. I'm glad we took you to a place on date number 2 where your skin felt like it was crawling. That's a good look for someone who's trying to get you to, associate good feelings with them. Main thing of a date, be honest. Trying to charm them, make them associate good things with you. Don't talk spiders.
No, we'd make a good team.
Why?
Because I'm a good spider catcher.
Why? I like the way she said that. Why? See, I told you I like accents. We make a good team. Why? I wouldn't let that go. We'd be saying why for another 30, 40
Are you
minutes.
going to say you love spiders and you'd help me? No, yeah, cool. You don't kill them, though, do you?
No, I never kill them. I always catch them in like a cup and then I release them back into the wild.
Which is killing them, because most house spiders in the UK will die overnight in the winter weather. So if you do find a little spider in your house, that's because they've managed to survive the winter by hiding out in your house. So releasing them out in the back garden will kill them.
I don't like them, but I don't want people to get. Oh, I don't. Like, I think they're proper.
What is it that you don't like about them though? Just what, the legs, the look?
Like, they're so creepy. What if they just come on your hair and like lay eggs in your head and they that's it, done.
I'm a bit surprised about someone who works in the medical profession that would probably understand that spiders don't lay eggs in your head.
This is the silly myth.
No.
Okay,
Question
fine, we'll move on.
Question 4.
I'm about to move on.
Okay, let's
Vinny's
move on,
favourite
yeah.
ice cream flavour.
We got through that, fear of me coming around and kicking the door in as well, didn't we? We managed to skim over that. Although now your Jesus Christ is left up there like a it makes me feel guilty. It's like a marker of my guilt up on the screen there. I wasn't really going to go around and kick anyone's door in. I just think that's more scary than spiders.
Okay, that's a nice one for me. Nice.
I forgot what the question is, so we'll just say chocolate because no one's ever going to say anything. Chocolate every time. What did you
Okay,
rather
I
have,
can
vanilla?
have this any day of the week. There we go.
There you go. Now I know what you've said. Now you said it. There you go.
You think vanilla? What? Do you think I'm bland?
No, I just thought you. Okay, maybe. Okay.
For your information, okay, I go for dark chocolate and the highest cocoa percentage.
Ooh, I'm the highest percentage. I hate dark chocolate.
There's a bit of bitterness in dark chocolate that I just love.
It feels too grown up, even for me. Look at how grown up I am.
Do you not see me? Am I not grown?
No, I would have thought you'd have said white chocolate, baby's chocolate. Anyway.
The thing is, right, I see what she's saying. It can be a bit bitter, but we're given the choice between bitter chocolate and no chocolate. What are you going to do? Chocolate, isn't it? It's chocolate. Like the basic bit, the chocolate is still the chocolate. So you can, don't matter. The only thing I don't like is the salty chocolate. Vinny's adorable. Vinny's like a little deer that's just been born and his little legs, can't get on his legs properly. He's trying to get up on his little legs. He's just been born. And like the sun's coming up and it's doing his eyes. He's like, oh, what's that? He's scared of it because he's like, don't worry, my little fawn. It's the sun. It will warm your sloppy body and dry you into shape. And then he's out there and he's there's a tree. What's that? Oh, a tree. What's that? A tree. I don't know anything about trees. Don't worry, Vinny. I wonder if you. Yeah, this game needs to be played from the other side, doesn't it? It needs to have 5. Well, no, sloppy like birth slop. You know, when they're born, the deers are covered in all the birth slop. I think that's the medical term for it.
Actually underestimated you.
Okay, good. I can't believe you think I'm bland. Okay, anyway, next. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Like on the Ghostbusters when they get slime.
What is Shayna's favourite sex position?
That's rude, right? That's rude. The quiz is rude. I haven't done the rude. It's done the rude. Now that's too forward for a second first date for me. I'd get embarrassed if they would start. I mean, If it was in conversation, I was doing the old, "Hey, well, I'm a bit saucy and a bit fruity," it's okay. But if you're directly going to just say to me, "So, tell me," it's less than. I think it's more formal almost. It's like clipboard out, right? So, favorite sex position, and do you do this? Will you do that? And can we be putting you down for a side order of this? You know, it just feels a bit like this is not the right context to be asking me about these sort of things in a sort of quiz about ice cream and, you know, whether you're prepared to be handcuffed to a bed or not. Like, it's just like, what? This is a bit personal, isn't it? Should this be aired now? Right now? Do I have to? Well, it looks like I'm answering then. You told me about your favourite ice cream. I'll tell you about my most personal...
Shit, I knew I shouldn't give it permission for NSFW questions. Right. Rules are rules. Right.
Go on.
Oh, I've got to choose for her.
Go on, tell us.
Done.
You done? You've chosen?
Done. Yeah.
I mean, she's an actor, so I'm trying to judge her body language, but she's an actor. But she was doing this with her head, which indicated a bit of back and forth. And then she sort of slightly sticking out her tongue. And the slight sticking out of the tongue is like a proper sticking out of the tongue. It's almost like a childish, like, petulant sort of display. So I think she feels powerful and like a bit of back and forth. Like she was, you know, rocking her head. So I think the cowgirl, I think that's the way it goes. I think she's the cowgirl. Because based on her body language, and I'm glad that we got through this without any further talk of anything naughty.
Don't think too hard.
No,
it's
I'm
fine.
not going to, don't worry. Cool, okay, there we go.
What did she say then? Don't think too hard. Don't think too hard. Oh, she's dropping it in.
Oh, okay, all right. So you're a control freak, yeah?
What? I didn't say that! Don't say that! Vinny, you're the worst person in the world. Like, you're actually trying, even if you're not, like, you don't just say to someone, even if you think they might be a little bit controlling sometimes, people like to feel in control over certain situations. And certainly if your potential partner were to, you know, they're sharing their innermost, really. I didn't want to say mine, although I didn't have to, it was her. They're sharing their, you know, personal feelings on this, and now you're sort of giving it a negative spin. It's fine. However she feels, however they feel, is fine. It's fine, Vinny. You know, like, oh, you're a bit of a control freak. We're going to have to sort that out. Now the handcuffs coming out. Remember, I mentioned the handcuffs. It wasn't me that was getting handcuffed. It's you. Right. So, like, no, that's not the way to go, Vinny. What you want to say is, oh, that's cool. Like, whatever she said, even if you don't like it and you don't think it's cool, unless she said something that was really bad, you know, unless she said she was like, you know, into like something that was illegal or bad, in which case, no, not cool. We quietly shut down the conversation. I'll call the police. But like if she was into something normal or not normal or a bit out there or whatever, that's cool. That's cool. And you just mark it. If it means that it's going to be trouble for you in the future and you don't want to date her, fine. But you don't tell her off for her sexual preferences. You're a control freak. A freak. Now we're calling her a freak.
Well, actually, my favourite position isn't even on there, so I went to the one that was the most fun on that list.
What's that? I don't want to know. It's gonna get bad. This is gonna get messy. Let's find out.
What the hell are you doing out there?
I actually shouldn't be talking. Like, I forgot.
Oh, your parents.
I forgot your parents are listening. my parents had stood in the room. Could you imagine if the camera panned around then and they both stood there? Most I shouldn't have been talking because the camera pans around and they just both stood there.
And I'm just going, my bad.
Oh, so is yours like a silent move? Is that why it's not on there? 'Cause it's like a silent... Maybe like a stare from across the room. Is that like your... It's not actually a physical thing. It's like a...
As you get a bit older, you just prefer to connect on an emotional level.
I don't know.
What's actually going on here is they're supposed to be having a great time because they're, you know, it's great to talk about these sort of things as modern modern people. You know, you don't have to hide away your feelings. You can talk about sex today's modern age and be open about it. And when you do, you have a good conversation. It goes well, and you all have a laugh. And it's just breaking the ice, and it's gone well. And that's because you respect each other. And you know, they're projecting a decent message through the writing there. That's cool. And what they're trying to say is, don't be afraid to say how you feel about these sort of things to a potential partner, because that's who you should really be talking with it honestly, openly about. So that's okay.
To be really excited about this or just terrified about this look that you do.
And also the older ladies are fruity.
You, mister, don't need to be anything
If I'm using the right terminology there, because remember yesterday I don't know what fruity means.
on a second date. So let's move on. Let's move on.
Okay, all right, we shall. Go for it.
I'll go for it. Question 6. Vinny's favourite time of day. Ooh, how gentile.
What are these questions? Okay, we cannot accuse the app of not switching things up. So polar opposites.
Yeah, my favourite time of day, and whether you take it up the like. So we're gonna ask morning, day, or night. I'm like a night person. That's what. It isn't fair, is it? I've got the easy questions. She's got the hard questions. I'm a night person.
Oh, this is easy. You better get this.
Okay, if you said it's easy, I've got it.
Yeah.
Nice, well done.
That's because no one likes.
Yeah, I'm a night owl for sure. I love the buzz and quiet at night.
And
what? No one likes.
And I love talking to Shayna, obviously, because she's amazing.
Yeah, whatever. Right, let's move. Oh.
Okay, what, is that it?
Oh, that's the end of the quiz, yeah.
Okay, so what do we do? Do you find out who the winner is now?
Yeah, well, obviously. Right, let's see.
Okay, right. Gosh. How many points did I get?
Oh, drum roll, please.
Drum roll. Come on!
Oh, no fucking... No, wait. No.
Top marks.
No, I'm not accepting that. I'm actually not accepting that because your questions were way easier than mine.
Are you a sore loser?
No.
You don't like this at all, do you? You don't...
I like people...
Slightly. It's a little bit of gamer in me. But I actually have to say, I'm really impressed. I think you might have got me figured out a little bit.
Well, it's going quite well, isn't it?
Really?
Mhm.
In all seriousness, a quiz was a great shout. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Obviously, Scott's top tips for dating. Don't ever say well done to, a potential partner or date. Don't ever say well done. And certainly not after or during, after any bedroom shenanigans. Never, well done should only come out of your mouth if you're discussing how you like your cauliflower steak. It's patronising.
Love them. I just love them. I'm a bit of a wannabe brainiac at the best of times. Always want to get top grades. Always want to be the know-it-all.
But do you think that comes from your parents? In your family?
Yeah. It was sort of like ingrained in me. And I think I'd be the same with my kids and their academics.
Do you know what? It's expensive these days. I mean, if you want to go into higher education, I mean.
Tell me about it. Like, my parents got off lightly with me and my sister because we got bursaries and scholarships, which we wouldn't have been able to do without it.
Well, listen, it seems like they did a fine job on you guys.
Thank you.
Look at them just having a really healthy conversation there. It's a really healthy conversation. And a little bit of a hint of like, if you want the grown up, that maybe it was good that she was holding a baby in her picture, because if you want a baby and a grown up and that's the way you're going to play this, she's the one, because she's grown up and normal. And she's thinking about where she's going to send her kids to school already, which is a bit like, she's only in age range on this. She's only like 2 years older than Vinny or something, but already she's into that stratosphere. She's like a grown up, not like me, not like any of us. Not like the rest of us in the real world who are never ever going to grow up properly because we've been held back by our social environment. I'm joking. It wasn't just the social environment. Look, the point I'm making is it's gone really well.
Do you want kids?
Oh, Shayna.
Oh, sorry. So big, bold question there.
No, it is. No, but yeah. Let me think about this.
Like, honestly, yeah, most of us probably would one day, wouldn't we? I mean, it's kind of all right. It doesn't mean that I have to have them with you now, does it? Okay, fine, then I'll just say yeah. And if you're saying, like, if you're, the correct answer to win the dates with, like, ladies is probably to just be, like, positive in general, but non-committal as well. Probably that. I think if you're too committed, if you're like, yes, love kids, let's have 10, like, then that's going to sound bad. So I think people would, I might give you a swerve if you sound a bit strange. So maybe not that, but also, yeah, I'm open to, this, yeah. I personally, if my honest true would be, yeah, absolutely. I'm probably never going to be in the right space and time in my life to say I'm well suited and adjusted and now's the right time. So might as well just do it and, like, muddle through. But you've got to accept that I'm going to require my own space and time on these days and these hours. And I'm quite prepared to get up in the night. And I'm quite prepared to do this and that. But I'm also not prepared to go and work at the chuff factory. I have to carry on being me all the time. So, bear that in mind. The kids will like it. You might not. So now, someday, never. You're not going to say now. That's a bit like what? Like you want to meet someone on a dating app and impregnate them. Like, that's not the plan. Never is not the plan. Someday.
Okay, I'm definitely getting there, but there's just so many things I want to achieve and experience before fatherhood.
Yeah, but you're not far away from it.
No, a few years maybe, but not right now.
Yeah, well, that actually makes complete sense where you are in life.
Because once you do it, that's it. You're raising this kid forever.
And not that I'm old, but that's why I've waited.
Not forever.
It has to be the right.
Not forever. You get to die. You're allowed to die. It's not forever.
For the right person, in the right circumstance.
Shena?
Making a joke that obviously it's sad when people die that we love. So it's sad. But my joke was that it is kind of forever, isn't it? You don't really ever get to sort of, or hopefully you would never feel to back out of doing that.
Oh,
Shena?
Sorry.
Shopping ke liye ja rahe hain, aao. Jaldi aao.
Right, sorry.
Yeah, or your kid dies. Yeah, that's another option. Or you kill your children. In that case, you don't have to look after them anymore. And not only do you not have to look after them anymore, you don't even have to cook your own dinner because that will be handled by the state.
I need to go for the weekly food shop, and I'm not sure when I'll get the next chance because of work and stuff. So
yeah, no, I understand. Priorities. I'm really glad that you were able to carve out this time for us.
And it's probably best that
I'm glad our date went so well because she doesn't know that we mean to kill our children. She thinks that it's all gone well. But to us, in our minds, we've come to the conclusion that we're either going to kill her or our kids. And she loves it.
Because, again, it was starting to head in a really serious direction.
Maybe we should do another run of this where we're a psycho and we're actually attending to go and see if we can manage to win the dates even though we're a psycho. In fact, probably just winning the dates even though you don't honestly believe the answers is probably a bit psycho, isn't it?
Yeah, I understand. It's fine. And this was...
Psycho is probably the wrong word for someone who does Mental Health Monday, isn't it? Socio doesn't roll off the tongue so easily though, does it? Socio is probably the right word.
It was all so fun.
Thanks, Vinny. Right, well then.
Probably not. I'll clarify that in case this ever comes back to bite me. But neither are probably the right word. There's probably a much more, thoughtful and less stigmatic, less likely to invoke stigma. And I was only being flippant and facetious, which is what we all are sometimes because we're all human. And that language, that powerful language, just comes out because of the way we, the environment we're in. And it's just a good example there of me noticing it in my own language and trying to moderate it because it's hard. Because we all have to try sometimes. We all have to try. And that makes me a good person, not a bad person. So now I've called someone a psycho and I'm a good person for doing it. So work that out, you divhead. Oh, I didn't mean divhead. Divhead's alright because it's just 3 letters that I invented that go together that don't mean anything. It's like chuffer. You piff wizard. You can be a piff wizard and like it.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, Shayna. You too.
Right. Bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye. I don't like ending the dates like that.
That's cool that she made up for last night.
Yeah, I've never had a lunch date before.
Oh, okay. So, how'd it go?
I've never had a lunch date. You haven't really had a lunch date, Vinny. You've just been talking to someone on your phone while you made lunch. It's not a real lunch date.
If I had to sum up the date, Callum, it was great. It was...
Okay.
So there are probably psycho roleplay games. I'd stigmatized is probably the right word. It's probably the right
And
word.
the quiz was really fun. And listen, even though we didn't have that much time together, I think we really bounced off each other. Do you know?
Sounds like she's really cool, man.
Bounced off her.
It all seems very chill and comfortable, and I could definitely see myself and her progressing.
Wow.
And because she's a nurse, like Snippy Snips, what you could do is you could just be like, "Oh, I'm poorly. Can you bring me some breakfast in bed?" And their instincts would kick in, and they'd be like waiting on your hand and foot. You know, "Oh, I've got a bit of a fever. Maybe I'm gonna have to have a bed bath." You could just play on their good nature. No, that's not what I'm suggesting. That's not what I'm suggesting.
Damn, you're saying a lot. It's like 2 days. That's a lot.
But what I do think is that it has gone well because to me, you know, they seem like a nice person, and that plays out because me being serious all of a sudden. Now is the time to be serious about it. But it plays out because of the things they did, isn't it? It's the things they did. That's what I liked about them, the sort of way they behaved and lived their life.
Yeah.
Get your thinking cap on, man. You got some decisions to make.
I do, some big ones, some important ones. Listen, I'm gonna head to bed, but I'll catch you tomorrow or something.
There's no
Alright then, man.
Vinny.
Sweet, bro. Have a good sleep.
Alright, cool, man. Good night.
Peace.
He's like, it's all important. There's no important decisions here, Vinny. You just go with your flow. You just go with your flow, don't you? There's no, and I can run you through it again, Vinny, if you want. I paid £10. We're gonna have to go on some more dates, Vinny. I'm gonna have to wring my money out of you, Vinny. £10 gets you more than 5 dates these days, Vinny. So, and you can't send it back because it's a computer game. You've played it now. It's all dirty on the inside of the computer game, so you can't send it back. So, and yeah, poorly's when you're poorly, isn't it? It's not as bad as being sick. You're not really sick. You're just poorly. It's like levels to this. If you need a day off school, you start off with poorly. You don't just go calling sick. You start off with poorly.
Thank you.
Your second date with Maya, Maya's chosen truth or dare, and we hate her. We didn't even choose a second date with aggressive influencer because I feel like she'd hate it if we didn't choose a second. Why hasn't he called me back? So we've gone for Maya because we're going to prove that we can talk her into bed, even though it's the ungentlemanly thing to do, and that is the point of this game, is to teach her that. And we've got to do it now. But also, like, the dog now really needs his walk. And things are getting late. Should I just leave it on and go for a dog walk? I'll be gone for like 20 minutes. I can't do that. I'll have to turn the stream off. And once I've done that, I'm very unlikely to come back on at like midnight. So, I'm going to give it to 10 o'clock and we're going to try and run this one. Oh no, now they're having a chat. I don't want to do your chat. Anything but this chat.
There he is, wide awake.
Anything but this
You're
chat.
like my mum now, man. What's the crack?
I have a second date with Maya.
Anything.
Mum.
Anything but Callum and
game day, right? Yeah.
and Vinny.
Yeah, she's chosen to play Truth or Dare.
Callum and Vinny.
Wild. You are onto a winner here, bruv.
They're in it together. There's no, it's 5 dates with Callum and Vinny.
You're gonna get busy with it.
Oh, do you know what? Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I am a little bit nervous.
That's because you're wearing that awful jumper that looks awful.
God, bruv, this is the exact reason why. Just have a little taste, yeah? Dutch courage, mate. Do it, man.
Oh, my wingman's now encouraging me to drink. Oh my God. I don't like where this is going. Because I also think the correct answer for your date with Maya is to be a drinking person. Because she's going to want all this drinking party. We've already committed to that in the first date. But I personally would never... I think this is a bad look. Why is he trying to convince me to get drunk? That would be bad on a date, on a computer date, where the only thing I can do is to slur my words and ruin my reputation with bad drinking speaking. Why? No.
Do you know what? No. Because I don't know what to expect from digital Truth or Dare, so I just kind of need to keep my wits about me, to be honest.
But I'm going to fail the date now.
Don't be so paranoid.
Well, okay, what if she asked me to do some freaky shit?
True. She could film it and leak it.
Yo, are you serious?
You become a big, huge laughing stock.
Oh, shut. You're not helping, Callum. Jeez. I've literally lost my appetite.
Right, so I don't know if I have to say this, but I think I probably will just say it anyway, even though it's so chuffing. Like, if anyone asks you to film yourself on a video date for sexual reasons, probably go with no. If anyone else, bear in mind, whatever you do on that webcam just consider it's being filmed. Just assume it's being filmed. Assume that what is happening on that webcam is going to be filmed and is most likely going to be shown to like your boss or something. Just imagine that. It'd keep you away from doing anything you don't want to do, won't it? Because just imagine that. That's just the best way to think about it. Until you really get to know someone, like, just imagine that. And then, like, don't do anything. Like, if people are trying to coerce you and doing stuff like that, it's a red flag. It's a no-no. I'm just saying this for the, people watching out there in internet land. If you're young and you're on Instagram or Snapchat and someone's like, send nudes. Where's my send trees hat? I'm wearing it. Where's my send? You can see the back of my head. Send trees. Send trees. Just send that back to them. Send trees. Send nudes. Chuff off. Like, ganjikidd, that's not happening. Like, yeah, what a minefield it is these days. But I'm just saying this because of, responsible. But I assume it's taken as read. I assume it's just, taken as read.
My sandwich anymore.
Anyway, there's potential here. Have you heard anything else from her since the first date?
I have actually. She sent me one of those video messages over the app.
Let me see. Was it naughty?
No, I can't.
I'm surprised none of them's a
Maybe a little
catfish.
cheeky, actually.
Come on. Now you gotta show me, man.
See, this is what they're trying to say. Oh, the boys are going to show you the messages to their friends, and go on then.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna screen share.
Because otherwise we don't get to see it.
Hey Vinny, I'm finally in the sunshine and I'm loving it, but I'm thinking about our next date. I can't wait to see you. See you soon.
Okay, now Vinny is weird because I thought he was going to show us some, like, saucy video, and it was just her saying hello. So
You're right there, bud.
She seems bubbly.
She is. She's pretty unique, actually.
Keep me updated,
She seemed
lad.
like
Yeah?
Yeah, I will.
She
Alright,
seemed
cool,
no-
man. Okay.
she seemed nothing. She was just a normal person. She was just someone saying hello. There was no personality put across whatsoever. Hello, it's me. I see you. Bye. It was devoid of personality. What's going on?
Cool, bro. Have fun.
Bye.
15 minutes. She's got 15 minutes of her life, and then I'm walking the dog. Oh, she's done her makeup and she's tied her hair back and she's like made an effort. Whereas before she wasn't making the effort, was she?
Hey Vinny.
Hey, shit. I'm sorry. I'm the one who was late this time.
Although I might have got that wrong. She's still got the great big glass of wine.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I wanted to show you that I can be reliable.
Oh, that's okay. That's nice.
Oh,
But
she's
you
trying to
won't-
make
you
an
won't
effort,
wait
yeah.
long, were you?
Only like an hour or two. It's not.
But I'm glad you waited for an hour anyway. So.
Just a couple seconds.
It's nice to see you.
So how have you been?
How has he not commented on that? Right, this is Scott's top tips. I'm doing the top tips now on how to get the right answer to win the date. Like, not just honest, but the best thing in this situation for most, right-minded people is if you see someone's made the effort, then compliment them. And no, you don't say thank you for making the effort on my behalf, but like, is it something about your hair, or is it the way it's tied back, or if you just, you don't want to nail it immediately. You don't want to say, oh, look, you've put on more makeup. And like nail it like that. You want to say, I don't know what it is. There's something about you tonight. You look special. Or is it like the light in your eye? And make them think, oh, he's noticed. But like, I'm so subtle that it's not like he, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be like, you've tied your hair back. Let's eat dinner. No, it's not like you're a statement of fact. You're trying to make them feel that their effort, like you want them to be rewarded for that effort, and the reward is that I notice and I care, and it makes a difference, and not like I care, like you know what I'm saying, but like you just give them that correct response give them that positive feedback. That's what I'm trying to say, the positive feedback, and make sure that they feel it, yeah, and it's like honest and real, and like obviously, like I said, I think if you nail it too much, if you say you've put on more makeup today, like it kind of makes the effort feel like if you name it specifically, it kind of calls it out and makes it feel like, oh, do I look silly with it on, or like you've noticed specifically this actual pinpoint thing, rather than it being a general vibe and a general theme. Like a general vibe is like, oh, good, I'm flowing. Like you've done this with your hair. It's like God, does it look silly on me? You know, you're like, there's a different tone to that, isn't there? So, yeah, and I can't believe Vinny's not even complimented her in any way, shape, or form about it.
I've just been keeping busy. A routine.
He's wearing he's wearing that horrible jumper
in disguise through this whole thing. So, how about you?
Yeah, same here, to be honest. I'm getting used to being stuck indoors, to be honest.
Hard to keep a free spirit trapped too long, right?
I'm still getting out as much as possible, though.
Nice.
By the way, I'm not drinking alone, am I?
I've already ruined the date.
No, I'm not drinking. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
She shook her head. Yeah, it's fine. It's not fine. I might not end up winning, the correct... Oh, there goes my... Right, that's... That's our stream done. Then no more batteries, no more... Second battery's gone. First battery's still in the charger. Second battery's gone. What do we do? I could run second battery, battery again, but it's going to be gone in like minutes because it's not fully charged. And we've only got 15 minutes before dog walk. Like, is way overdue.
I'll just be the alcoholic over here.
No,
oh God.
No, I don't want you to think that. Are you sure
and
it's
I've ruined
cool?
the date.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
It's fine, whatever, no worries. You do whatever you want to do, man.
Oh, you do whatever you want to do, man.
Okay, how come you chose Truth or Dare?
I like how unpredictable it is, It's like you really get to know a person and their limits with it.
Limits? Okay, now I'm worried.
Not like that, like just their boundaries.
Boundaries? Okay, yeah, still worried.
No, you know what I mean. It's like people really show their true selves when they're faced with like a deep truth or a really tough dare. It's
okay. No, I get you. All right, let's get stuck in. Let's do this. I'm ready.
Okay, all right then. It's your go first. What's it gonna be?
Damn it!
The big question: truth or dare?
Focus.
Okay.
Focus. Let's focus. And it's going to have to be truth. Like, there's no point in doing dares in a situation like this. I can't talk for ages. We've got to get ready to walk the dog in a minute. There's no point in doing dares in a situation like this. I'll tell you why. Is because you're trying to get to know each other, aren't you? So it's truth.
I don't trust you with dares. I'm gonna go truth.
Okay. All right. So.
And you might think, oh, but what if she asked the question that I don't want her to ask? And what if she asked the question that I don't want her to? Oh, frisky dares, yeah, you could. Frisky dares gets you recorded on camera, doesn't it? What if she asked the question that I don't want her to ask? Well, that's a good question, because then it's the things that you should, thoughts, isn't it? Feelings. So there are no questions that I don't want her to ask. Whatever she asks is what's a priority to her that she's concerned about, that she might feel she couldn't ask before, but now it's a truth or dare, she can really ask. So they're the things that I wanted to ask.
Okay, when was the last time you cried?
Wow, damn. Straight into the deep end.
I cry everything to death. I can't
Sink
remember
or swim, right?
Both of these.
Last time I cried.
I really want to know this.
Okay, if I could be totally honest with you.
It was today when I rewatched Max Verstappen's win of the Formula One, trying to work out how that chuffer won the chuffing Formula One over our hero Lewis Hamilton. How the chuff Lewis Hamilton didn't win, and I rewatched it for a second time, and at the end when they were talking about what it meant and the team and all that, and it made me think about Max Verstappen in one of his interviews said that what goes through your head because he's winning the world championship, And I always think, oh, I want to win the world championship. And he's there, and he goes, what goes through your head is all the time that you put in, all the hard hours, all the difficult things that added up to getting to this, is what he was thinking about on his like victory lap. And it made me, so I had a little, I didn't like cry, but it made me emotional, and I shed a little tear over that. So that was today. So I've picked all the time.
I am a big softie.
What does that mean?
What? I cry all the bloody time. It doesn't take much to set me off.
Like what? Like films and stuff?
Oh, films, books, music.
I've ruined it.
I'm not afraid to cry.
Really? Interesting. That's
She's-
unusual.
In a good.
Unusual. Now she said unusual because she doesn't want to say bad. Bad and unusual are like they're interchangeable here. I've ruined the date. Okay, I've ruined the date. We're gonna have to come back. If we want to win Maya, we're gonna have to come back drunk and not crying. She likes a tough guy who will only cry when things get really out of hand inside themselves and they can't really express it. They've tried lashing out with violence. That's made their lives worse. And she likes that sort of. I'm putting words in her mouth now, and I'm leaning close to the camera because of focus issues. So come closer. Look, I'm better in focus the closer I am. But what's going to happen now is I'm going to chuff this off, right? I don't know if we can save it or what. We don't have to. We know we can skip it. We know if we've done it before, we can skip it. So we can get back to here. Look, there's a little. Have I told you? Do you know that one? That's out of Red Dwarf. It's Rimmer's joke, isn't it? It's about dating. It's a joke he tells ladies. It says, "Would you like a worm do?" Like it's about a cocktail. It's about a cocktail. He says, "Would you like a worm do?" And the lady says, "What's a worm do?" And he says, "It crawls along the ground like this." And his little finger doing that. That's his little joke. It doesn't really work as a. We're so close, yeah. We're so close, but we're not gonna get her. We're not gonna complete her. I know that we've buggered it up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back. I've still got dates to conclude. We can still have a look more into these dates. I have finished learning that the game is a proper chuffer. It's purely patriarchal. It's purely a wingman simulator. It's teaching young lads that there's a correct way to finesse a lady by telling her what she wants to hear, and that your resultant reward is romantic success, which I think is a bad message. I think more should be placed on honesty. I think more should be placed on the outcomes being successes regardless of romantic conclusions, and more to be placed on the exploration of one's ideas, which it does do a reasonable job of. It does do a reasonable job of exploring some ideas, and I think it really lacks in diversity, despite ostensibly having a diverse cast of people from different ethnic backgrounds with different stories in the stories. It lacks the ability to go on a date with somebody of the same gender or a different non-denominated gender, which is kind of like, it's just kind of strange to just completely lack that in today's day and age, isn't it? It's kind of just missing, which is a shame. So that's all the review. I did the whole review then. I don't have to do a big long edit or anything. I just cut that bit off the end and put some gameplay footage in with it. Now what I should do is I should say, like in this bit where Vinny says to Saffron, "Oh, why don't you make me a sandwich, you bitch?" And Saffron, like obviously that never happened. I made that up. I did some swearing as well, but it's just a little bit of funny swearing. It's funny swearing to make a funny point. Obviously, I don't condone that sort of language, but it's right at the end of the broadcast, and no one will ever know. Yeah, and I'm going to go and walk the dog now. That's more important. More important than these fake dates is actually walking the real dog before it gets too late. So you be good, my little podcast. I like coming on stream and talking more, but the way this evening is panning out, I doubt I will return tonight. I usually say I might come back on. I don't, and I just don't. I can't. Let's Let's be more realistic, and then if I do, it's a bonus. Tomorrow is Mental Health Monday, 8 p.m. GMT. Doing Mental Health Monday tomorrow, 8 p.m. GMT. And then onward into the future. The editing has really been difficult this week. Haven't done enough of it. So there's not enough of it on the other channels, but it's all worth a watch. Why don't you look at it, you chuffer? So you be good, my little chuffers. And if you can't be good, my little podcast, then we're going to have to go on endless dates until I get the right answer.